All right, well, it looks like we are live here on Twitch with ML Botball. Another day, this time with a little bit of a different schedule coming your way. Starting here at 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern with Cubs and Brewers is going to be first game of our Botball schedule. And I'm joined in the booth with JD Gregory. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Heinz. How are you?
Going well. Cubs looking to avoid the weekend sweep at the hands of the Brewers, so they're going to really need to find another gear today.
Absolutely, and it's kind of like as Mr. 3 and I talked about yesterday on the Indians and White Sox. August is not the right time to be playing bad baseball, so if you are the Cubs, not that maybe you're in any immediate danger, but it would behoove you to try and get a victory and start some positive momentum going into next week today.
Yeah, I mean, I see this really as just a little bit of a speed bump per se on their course, but they've got a series against the Reds coming up after this, and the Reds at the moment are only 3.5 games out, and even though, you know, the Cubs would have a commanding lead in the wild card, if they were to drop out, that's not the way to go. You know, when you have the lead for, you know, however many months it's been, you can't lose it, you know, right at the death like they have in a couple other years, and then things get a lot harder.
Absolutely, and you want to continue to try to maintain the best record because that could really help at playoff time, having that home field advantage, because other teams have to come in and deal with a hostile environment, and it can get you off to a really good start, so the Cubs need to try to maintain that.
I believe the Cubs are 2.5 games up as the best record in the National League, if I'm doing my math correctly, over the Nationals and the Dodgers, both of whom are on 70 wins, the Cubs at 73. But if you're David Ross, JD, what does he need to do to try to get this team going? It's been a slow week. There have been a multitude of different small issues that have convoluted into, you know, this losing, well, not losing streak, but this skid that they've been on. What does he need to do to right the ship here?
Well, I think that he needs to work on some consistency on offense. I know Friday night we were on the game and they got out to a pretty good start offensively, and then they took their foot off the pedal, and you know, you got to come at it innings 1 through 9, so maybe get a little bit of a fierce attitude in this game to go out and really kill things.
As for the Brewers have, of course, won the first couple games here and on a decent run, 4 wins in a row, 6-4 in their last 10, and while they are 23 games back in third place behind these Cubs, there's still plenty to play for, you know, being pride and everything in their craft. So they're certainly just trying to play spoilers here.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that point up because the Cubs would love to, or the Brewers rather, would love to spoil the Cubs' season, and I'm sure they would love to do the same for Cincinnati and some of these other contenders. So this would be the series if you're the Brewers to get started on some of that stuff.
So it looks like we'll see the Brewers in their white uniforms they wore in yesterday's 6-4 win. As for the Cubs, road blue alternates. And we'll be taking you out shortly to Miller Park, opened back in 2001. It's a nice indoor ballpark, and really, if you get a chance to go there, it's a really nice place. I got to go there a couple years ago, 2016. That's well more than a few years ago, but it's a nice atmosphere.
It definitely looks like a nice place. I've never been there, but I think it was one of the first of its kind with the design. But I think that's really unique, the slide that they have in left field. Bernie Brewer slides down when the Brewers hit a home run. It looks like it's a really fun place to be.
And you always get plenty of fans from either side during this matchup, as here we are in Milwaukee. Cubs and Brewers fans alike travel out in full force. The Cubs don't have to travel too far, and I can tell from my experience there were a lot of Cubs fans down that left field line behind the Cubs away dugout. It's a good place, and well, here's their starter on the day. It's going to be young Freddie Peralta.
Freddie Peralta, in 23 starts this year, has a 4-8 record with a 3.72 ERA, 55 walks, 130 strikeouts, giving up 87 hits. So it's definitely been a different kind of a season.
Leading off the afternoon for the Cubs.
So Chris Bryant will lead it off for the Cubs. Led off the game on Friday, which we were on the call for, with a solo homer. Looking to do the same here and get the Cubs off into an early lead. First pitch from Peralta coming in here at 2:34 Central Time is a ball.
Freddie Peralta, fastball, curveball, changeup, and two seam fastball. Seems like that four-seamer that he throws is his most effective pitch, so the Cubs are going to have to watch out for that today.
1-1 here on Chris Bryant. Yesterday, the Cubs fell 6-2 to the Brewers. John Lester giving up 3 runs in only 4 innings of work, as that's grounded away into the shift. Smoke with a spin and a throw, and that's a nice defensive play.
Absolutely, flashing some letter there was just in Smoke. Great play.
Anthony Rizzo.
Going back to yesterday, in fact, yesterday was the 31st birthday of the man at the plate here, Anthony Rizzo. Wished him a happy birthday yesterday, and he's looking to do better than he did yesterday, 0 for 4.
Well, maybe he was just a little excited about it being his birthday, and happy belated to Anthony Rizzo. Hopefully he has a better game here today.
Peralta, quick delivery, and that's a ball. He does a very fast delivery once he gets going. It's just over the head, up, and throw. Probably looked a lot better when I motioned it than you guys hearing it, so easier to convey when you can see rather than just hear. But anyway, that is ripped hard down the line, but that'll carry him off there, and the ball boy seems uninterested.
It does, doesn't he? Looks like he'd rather just let it lay there.
2-1, that one misses high. James Kingsley, the home plate umpire, he'll be calling balls and strikes. Two here on Rizzo. The catcher Narvaez wants it high, and he gets it up and in, and that is swung on and missed for the first strikeout of the afternoon.
But there's that four-seam fastball that we talked about, and here Peralta gets a strikeout, so this is a good tone setter for him this afternoon.
So Javier Baez batting third, as pretty much always.
Count 1-0.
2 for 4 in yesterday's loss. Number 10 on the pitch count for Peralta is outside for a ball, 2-0.
Maybe try to run that pitch count up here a little bit, even though there's 2 outs. Make him stay out a little bit longer this inning.
Big cut at a elevated changeup, not a textbook pitch there, but fooled him anyway, and now with that pitch it's 3-1.
Definitely it was out of sync on there. It looked like he was trying to put it over the wall with that swing.
The Javi Baez special, free swinging whenever he feels like he can rip it. That one in there at 96, fouled down the line. We'll have a full count, 2 outs here in the first. The payoff pitch is grounded down the line. That'll be Brock Holt with a barehanded play. Some leather being flashed on either side of that infield, and a 1-2-3 inning for Peralta. We head to the bottom of the first. It'll be Kyle Hendricks going for the Cubs.
Well, here to look.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's a look at Kyle Hendricks, 9-6 record with a 2.82 ERA, 140.2 innings pitched, 135 hits. He's got a whip of 1.16. Hendricks throws a sinker, changeup, four-seam fastball, and curveball.
Well, Hendricks got, well, shelled would be an accurate description in his last game against the Braves. Didn't get out of the first inning, giving up 8 runs, 5 hits, and an uncharacteristic 3 walks. That increased his ERA by almost half, and now took him out of the top 3 in ERA.
That's kind of a big surprise, too, because Hendricks has some pretty great command over all of his pitches. So to hear that he walked 3 batters, that's something else.
And he does lead the National League in walks allowed. Only 28, the best that you might see, is that's grounded quickly over to Hendricks, and he tosses it over. That's out number 1.
We've seen some pretty good defensive plays here today so far, early on.
So Avisail Garcia, he will come to hit. The top 3 in this Brewers order was surprisingly quiet despite their victory. All 3, Kane, Garcia here, and Hura, all 0 for 3 with a walk apiece, but still without a hit.
Well, it's interesting because Friday night they all 3 had a pretty big night. I remember Kane had an RBI double. I think Hura got a couple of hits.
That's ball 3.
Some struggle with command here for Kyle Hendricks. You've already mentioned that that's not something you see from him very often. 3-1 delivery is out over the plate and fouled down the line.
That's pretty indicative of the weekend the Cubs have had here. This has just been an all-around frustrating weekend for them.
And that one is popped way up and on the edge of the dirt there, and now catching that is Wilson Contreras behind the plate. So ground out to the pitcher, a fly out to the catcher. The rest of the team's yet to touch the ball.
But we'll see what happens here. It'd be nice if Hendricks can keep stifling these Brewers hitters.
Looking to get an equally quick inning to his counterpart Peralta, as we see Keston Hura much better against right-handed pitching and was stifled yesterday by the lefty John Lester, as he promptly lifts that one in towards the right center gap. That's Hayward going back. It's Almora at the wall, makes the catch crashing into the wall, and I thought that surely that was Hayward's.
I did too. He looked like he had it.
Crashing into the wall goes Almora, but another 1-2-3. Head to the second.
Leading off for the Cubs, the left fielder,
Kyle Schwarber for the Cubs, the team home run leader with 33, looking to maybe get a big fly on the board. He hasn't hit one in a little while, if memory serves.
Maybe even going back to last weekend.
Sounds about right. I know he got one in the last time these two teams played back at Wrigley when you and I were on the call, and looks like that is the case. 0-2 to Schwarber, and gets a high fastball, cut on and missed. Good fastball from Peralta.
The Cubs are going to have to put together some better at bats here, because you don't want Peralta to get into a rhythm, and here they're allowing that to happen. So you got to do something to try to disrupt him.
So Wilson Contreras comes to the plate. 3 for 4 yesterday. The two catchers for these teams combining for 5 hits, 2 homers, and 4 RBIs. One of those homers and 2 of those RBIs coming from Wilson.
Showing some good power out of that catcher's position. That's become pretty much a power position of late the last few years.
Yeah, we've seen him, Grandal, Mitch Garver out there in Minnesota. And I'm drawing a blank on some others, but certainly there are more. Wilson Ramos.
Yan Gomes has some power in his bat as well.
Two and two here on Wilson. And he shoots that one the other way, and that's into right field, the first hit of the game. And who else?
That's a good way to go the other way by Wilson Contreras. We talked about needing to not let Freddie Peralta get into a rhythm, and he was cruising a little bit, so let's see if this rattles him a little bit.
And JD, I feel like that's what the Cubs need to do more of, as Jason Hayward deep to right. That one is way, way gone. 457 feet on his 31st birthday.
And what a birthday present for Jason Hayward. Happy birthday, man. So we talked about rattling Peralta. Maybe they've done it here after getting the first 4 outs and then giving up a loud hit and a loud fly ball that reaches the stands here.
He got a hold of that. Look at the, like, not the exit velocity, but look at the launch angle on that one.
Man, that is something else. Great job, Jason Hayward.
The second baseman,
Ian Happ cuts and misses. And before that, I was about to say, with that Wilson at bat, that's what he's been doing so well that the rest of the Cubs haven't, shooting the ball the other way. And Hayward says, well, you don't have to shoot the ball the other way if you hit it over everyone.
No, you don't. And, man, that was just a big display of power right there.
I got to count 1 and 2.
1 and 2 here on Ian Happ. He's been in a bit of a funk. He's been struggling to really find it. Yesterday had a hat trick of Ks, really needing to find something.
Well, the dog days of the summer right here, so slumps like this happen, but hopefully Happ can break out of it because he's a big part of this team.
Another strikeout. Number 3 from Peralta. He's off to a hot start on the pitching end, with the exception of that big homer, as his opposite number, Hendricks, comes to the plate, watches ball 1.
Well, there's a chance he could still turn this into a quality start because a rebound like that is what a quality starter does. The rest of this game will tell the story, though.
Inside, ball 2.
2-0 here on Hendricks. He's worked, I don't think he actually has worked a walk yet. He might have worked 1 this season.
Interesting.
Ball, that's out.
3-0, and Almora's on deck. That one right down the heart of the plate, figuring Hendricks isn't going to swing.
No, that's a ball.
But he loses them, and that's got to lower the confidence even more as we see a mound visit.
batting 9, the center fielder.
Absolutely, giving up a walk to your counterpart, or anytime you let your counterpart on base for a pitcher, that's got to be frustrating.
So with that, Albert Almora is going to come to the plate. A 9-game hitting streak, which is great in itself, and he's been hitting fairly well. 2 for 4 yesterday, has a couple of homers over the past week as well.
That's good offensive performance by Almora. I see his batting average is on the rise there, so let's see if we can get to continue this afternoon.
And if you're Peralta, you really need to get out Almora, because Chris Bryant, even though he's 0 for his last 5 going back through yesterday, he's a dangerous bat.
Absolutely, you want to limit the damage that this Cubs team can do, and if you don't allow Bryant to get to the plate, you're limiting that.
Well, he's going to have to battle back here, Peralta. 3-0 now on Almora. So back-to-back 3-0 counts. See if he can get back into it here.
Hey.
That one does catch the corner. 22 pitches on the inning is not the tally he would like to see.
No, it isn't. We're hoping for a little bit of a quicker of an inning, as Peralta really took care of the Cubs in the first, and he struggled this inning.
Ball 4, that's
3-1, high ball 4. So back-to-back walks here, and the big man, Chris Bryant's going to come to the plate.
This is just what you didn't want if you were Craig Counsell. So hopefully you can get some better pitch location, and this inning can end right here.
Bryant's average still above the 300 mark. And of course, he's been hitting at a high level all season. Even his slumps, he's hitting well. He swings and misses at a strike.
Well, if you're David Ross, you certainly hope he comes back for another season, because he's such a big part of the Cubs offense and really the Cubs team for just about anything. So you don't want to lose this guy.
And Peralta now quickly ahead, 0-2. I don't know where that was before. He's challenging the best hitter in this Cubs lineup now after working around the previous two.
Interesting strategy, to say the least, here by Peralta.
1-2. Hendricks the runner at second. Almora the runner at first. 2 runs already home in the frame. The pitch is outside. It's 2-2.
Good for Chris Bryant laying off of that. A lot of hitters might have chased that pitch.
The 2-2 delivery here from Freddie Peralta. Outside, full count, and both runners will be going.
He's a ball away from loading the bases for Anthony Rizzo. That's another guy you don't want coming up with runners on base.
Peralta gets the sign and comes set. The 3-2 swung on and missed at ball 4. Strikeout number 4 from Peralta, but not before the birthday boy strikes for a 2-run shot. Head to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Cubs.
Leading off for the Brewers.
Back here in the bottom of the second, Christian Yelich leading off, and he's actually been rather neutralized up until yesterday when he had a homer back in the 8th inning, and could be a sign of him further breaking out.
You hope that doesn't happen if you're David Ross. If you've got him struggling, you want to keep it that way, because this guy will harm you if you give him the chance.
1 ball, 1 strike.
In the dirt there on the sinker, it's 1-1.
We talked about the uniforms the other night. I like these uniforms that the Brewers are wearing a lot better. Reminds me a little bit of when I was growing up and would watch Brewers games.
Yeah, I must admit, I wish these were their main home jerseys rather than the cream ones we saw on Friday. These just, they have both a new and old school feel, and I think that's, the perfect mix that they were going for with the new logos. That is popped way up, and Wilson Contreras already has received his second pop-up.
Well, good way to get your first out of the innings. Yelich has a big bat in the Brewers lineup, so you've got the inning off to the right start.
And as Justin Smoke comes to the plate, going back to this uniform conversation we've been having, I've got to say that, I think really these are the only new Brewers jerseys I'm a fan of. I don't know if you've seen those, those navy, not navy, but like bluish away ones that they're wearing, which I just don't really like the font, and I'm stingy, but still, it's not my cup of tea, really.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you know what? I think they wore those uniforms last Saturday when we did the game, and I agree with you. Those are in the yellow lettering. Yeah, that's not good.
You know, I
Count
think,
is 1 and
you
2.
know, if anything, the ones that they used to wear, which was almost the same color for the base, but with the old, you know, even though it was with the old logo, it looked a lot cleaner than this one does. It's almost too bright with that lettering, in my opinion at least.
It absolutely is.
On the Cubs end, it's all, you know, the same old stuff, which, you know what, it's timeless, and I love it no matter what. Those blues are just amazing, along with the home whites. Is Chris Bryant, what a throw. Will he get him, though? They do. What a play.
That was an excellent play there by Chris Bryant. Kind of reminds me of Manny Machado. I think we talked about that the other night when we were on the broadcast.
That one is... Oh, what a play, Javi. Oh, my. What a way to end the frame. A spin and a throw after that. And, wow, that's a lot of leather in a very short span as we head to the third.
These guys came to play today, Heinz.
We're back in the third. It's not Matt Viscursion, Mark DeRosa, or Dan Plesac. However, brought up yesterday that both DeRosa and, well, DeRosa played for the Cubs and Plesac, in fact, played for both of these teams. It would be the perfect time for them to be there, but JD, I think we're both happy that we're the ones here instead.
No, inside.
Absolutely, but it would be amazing if they could be here with us to kind of pick their brains and knowledge of the game and hear their stories. It would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, I can tell you, my my baseball, well, first-hand baseball playing experience falls off at a point, and really, you know, I don't have the same experience that, you know, heck, even a college player would have. I'm not that great. I was never the best player. That's out number one.
Well, kind of like mine doesn't really go beyond Middle League. I played some church league softball, but that's about it.
That's the ball.
1-0 here on Javi. He grounded out in his first plate appearance. And that is softly grounded. Nice play by Eric Sogard. Man, this is a defensive masterclass we're seeing.
Yes, it is, and it's kind of anything you can do, I can do better, because we saw Javier Baez close the last inning out with a nice play, and there's another one there by Sogard. Not that I know that was a better play, but it was a nice one nonetheless.
And Schwarber scorches that down the line, but foul.
Is the count.
0-2 here on Schwarber, and they're at risk of having a very, very quick third inning.
Yes, they are, and that's just what Freddie Peralta needed.
So 1-2 on Kyle Schwarber. Delivery from Peralta is fouled away, so we'll do it again, and looks like he's working the count a lot better than his counterparts.
Absolutely, he's making Peralta throw a lot of pitches. He's getting up there in pitches, too. I don't think we're going to see too much more of him.
We saw the Brewers do the exact same thing, and, well, we've seen almost every pitcher have that problem the past 2 days, with pitchers not getting more than 6, not getting more than 5 if memory serves. I know, yeah, I believe both, we've had 2 4-inning starts and 2 5-inning starts going in, and it looks like if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Kyle Hendricks, and that's it.
Yes, it does. We'll have to see what happens here. Now there's a strikeout, so the inning is over.
Strikeout number 5, the second of Kyle Schwarber today. So the Cubs get nothing across. We head to the bottom of the third.
Leading off for the Brewers, the third baseman,
Brock Holt playing third base today. taking over for Jed Jerko. They do a bit of a platoon with Holt against righties, and Jerko got the start against the lefty yesterday.
That was a nice play he had at third base in the top part of this inning.
0-1's the count.
Kyle Hendricks, emotionless as always on the mound, but he's always, he's just one of the best players you'll see, because he just goes out there and he just does the work that he's asked, and really flew under the radar until really this year.
He did, but he's been a tough, nasty pitcher, and he shows up in big games. And again, that goes back to the mentality of going out and getting your work done.
And he gets his first strikeout of the day of Brock Holt. You normally don't see too many from Hendricks, but there's his first.
The shortstop, Arrieta.
Well, that's a nice pitch right down the middle there by Hendricks, too.
Eric Sogard batting in the 8th spot as he takes one down the middle for strike one. He's been a pretty consistent player for this Brewers squad.
He's been pretty consistent his whole career wherever he's been, but especially here, the type of guy you want on the roster if you're a great counsel.
That's over to Happ, and he tosses that across to Rizzo for out number 2, and now it's the Brewers who are going down very quickly.
It is, and going back to what we were talking about with Hendricks, he does not throw particularly fast or hard, but what he does throw is efficient, and he gets his job done, and he's getting it done here in the bottom half of the third.
Well, we'll see Freddie Peralta, the pitcher, hit now with 2 outs, and to your point there about the efficiency of Kyle Hendricks, he threw a 81-pitch shutout, complete game shutout, against the Cardinals last season, which constitutes a Maddox. Less than 100 pitches in a complete game shutout, which is where he takes his nickname, the Professor, from, along with his time at Dartmouth College, and also just the fact that he's just a lot like Greg Maddox.
Yep, so he kind of resembles him a little bit on the mound. I can kind of see Maddox in the wind-up and the attitude that he carries, and they both have been huge factors in World Series games that they've pitched. So I think Greg Maddox is a great comparison.
2-2 here on the pitcher Peralta. Hendricks only at 32 pitches. For reference, Peralta finished the last inning around 53 or so. 2-2 is swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 from Hendricks, both coming in this inning. 9 up, 9 down for Kyle. We head to the top of the 4th. It's 2-0. Back here, top 4, Heinz AS here with JD Gregory and Heidi Watney, reminding us to donate to Meals on Wheels, our charity of this week.
Sure. Meals on Wheels, like I said, is a great charity. They took care of a family member of mine when they weren't able to cook for themselves anymore, and made sure they had a lot of nutritious meals. So, folks, if you can, make sure that you donate to them, and if you can be generous too, I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
So Wilson Contreras has a hit and scored on the home run from Hayward, and he's had a few homers himself of late.
Yes, he
Cuts
has.
and misses there.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count.
1-2 here on Willie. Pitch number 60 from Peralta is upstairs, 2-2. That's chopped foul. This is a great at-bat from Wilson Contreras.
Yes, it is. Just trying to make sure you can get something that you can put in play, maybe even take to the opposite field like he did last time.
Instead, he grounds that one over to short, and that'll be out number one, but that'll increase Peralta's pitch count even further, and now bring up the birthday boy who already has 2 RBIs and a homer.
Absolutely. I think that this is a good strategy offensively for the Cubs, trying to get Peralta to throw a lot of pitches because it's going to wear him down as he goes on.
That one not called by the home plate umpire, James Kingsley. He's been calling a pretty strict strike zone. He's been sticking to it the whole game.
Absolutely. And if you're Peralta, that doesn't make you happy, that particular pitch, but there's not a lot you can complain about. He's calling it both ways.
And that could have been another homer for Jason Hayward, right over the heart of the plate, but foul.
Well, Peralta's got to make sure he stays away from that or he's going to get burned again.
Well, we saw Keston Hura on his 24th birthday back at Wrigley last weekend. Hit 2 homers in a game against the Cubs, and even though Rizzo and his birthday yesterday came up hitless, maybe we can see Jason Hayward match Hura's performance.
Well, I'm sure that would be nice for him. Looks like the shadows are starting to creep in a little bit here, so maybe, well, let's see.
That's down the line. That's gonna 2-hop the wall, and Jason Hayward's got a pair of extra base hits on the day.
Well, a home run and a double, so he's having a pretty good birthday so far.
Second baseman, Ian Happ.
Got an RBI double in the 9th off of Brent Suter, a lefty, to try to bring the Cubs back. That, I believe, made it 6-4, which would end up being the final. Brings up Ian Happ.
Well, he may have had his second home run right there. It looks like that ball just went off the top of his bat, and he was able to get enough to find a hole and let that ball go to the wall.
Happ's been one of the 6 strikeouts from Peralta, and that's one of the things Peralta does very well. His debut had 13 of them in 5 2/3 against the Rockies, and mind you, that is a severe hitter's park with that thin Colorado air.
Yes, it is. That is not a place you want to go if you're a pitcher.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count.
2-1 here on Happ. 70 pitches from Peralta.
Can you imagine what it must be like to be a starter on that Rocky staff, though? You have to go out there a lot and pitch.
I mean, that's got to be tough because you unless you're a guy like Kyle Hendricks, who's a severe ground ball pitcher, you're not going to be in good shape. And if you're a pitch to contact guy, you're practically obsolete there because anything that's hit can go 500 feet.
Absolutely. I'd sure want to stay away from there.
Swung on and missed. Ian Happ, 5 strikeouts just coming from today and yesterday, and don't know what David Ross is going to have to do to bring him back up to his standards from earlier in the year.
Well, you might want to set him down on the bench and let him get some cobwebs out of his head. I know you've got Jason Kipnis that can play, that he's had a pretty good career, and he's pretty good at the plate, and maybe David Bodie. So if you needed to give a Happ some rest, you could certainly do it.
They also have the kid Nico Horner. He's came up and, I mean, he's had 5 hits in 16 at-bats, including a double, a homer, and 5 RBIs. Small sample size, of course, but he's been one of the highly touted prospects. Really the biggest prospect the Cubs have had in the past couple years, with the exception of Alzolay, to get called up since, 2017 would have been Ian Happ, maybe, would probably be the last, extreme high prospect they had.
Well, if he's making an impact, you need to find a way to get him into that lineup for sure. And again, maybe give Happ a chance to get a little bit of rest in. He could be wearing down a little bit.
Hendricks fights that one off. He's 2-2, 2 outs, runner on second in a 2-0 game.
Helpful.
3-2 on Hendricks. He already has 1 walk in this game in his first at bat, and Now full count.
I'll keep making Peralta throw pitches and see if you can get into that Brewers bullpen that hasn't been very good this year.
Well, he does get Hendricks to strike out, but as you mentioned, that's, I believe, a 6 or 7 pitch at bat. That'll keep the pitch count rising, and we head bottom 4, still 2-0 as the Brewers search for a hit.
Leading off for the Brewers, the center fielder, Lorenzo.
Back here, bottom 4, Lorenzo Cain, as the batting order turns around, and it's the 4th inning. He's the guy that would be the one you'd expect to get this first hit, and we'll see if he can come through.
He got a big hit the other night.
That's into right field. Jason Hayward on the run, and he can't get there, and that's gonna hop over the wall, and it'll be a ground rule double.
Now batting, right fielder.
A shot at that ball anyway, but it was a nice job trying. It was maybe if he wouldn't have jumped, he would have had a better shot at it.
Might consider themselves lucky that that hopped over the wall, because with Jason Hayward off balance, the likelihood of that ball rattling around in the corner, you might see Cain standing on third, and it's still only a 2-run game. This is still wide open early on.
Well, we've seen the Brewers the last couple of weeks fight back against the Cubs too, so you definitely would not have wanted a weird bounce like that to happen.
That's grounded and snagged by Hendricks, channeling his inner Maddox on the defensive end, because Maddox has all those gold gloves sitting at home. Hendricks still searching for one, but you never know. Maybe he'll earn one this year.
Well, if he keeps making plays like that, he certainly will.
So Hura got a hanging pitch, and he hits that deep center field. Almora looks up, and that is gone to center field.
Yeah, that's a shame. If you are David Ross and the Cubs, maybe it's something you could have known was only a matter of time before it happened, but you'd hate to see that happen to Kyle Hendricks because he has been great so far this afternoon.
9 up, 9 down, and now a double, ground out, and then this shot. That's just an uncharacteristic hanging changeup from him.
And not a mistake you want to make to a guy like Hura, because Hura is an excellent hitter, and he took that ball a long way right there.
And now you've got to settle down quick, because you got Yelich at the plate, and he could easily give them the lead if he can steer one that distance. Oh, and 1 here on Yelich, and what's now a tie ball game. And you mentioned it right at the top of the broadcast, JD. The Cubs cannot get complacent with any lead they have. Honestly, if they had a 10-run lead, they'd still need to score more runs just to get that feeling into their system. And now they're watching it come back to bite them, as that's a fly-out for out number 2.
Absolutely, and again, I'm a little surprised that there's been some times where Hendricks has had a hard time with his pitch location. He absolutely grooved that ball to Hura, and he paid for it. You can't have that type of mentality.
So Smoke comes up. He's looking to get his first hit on the day. He chops that one foul. It's 2 outs here, and he had a double in his last couple of games here.
Well, this guy can get you some hits when you need it. His batting average isn't exactly up there, but he can get you some hits.
Sits in an 0-2 count here against Hendricks. The pitch is called strike 3, and that's a good comeback from Hendricks, but not before the young kid Keston Hura takes one a long way to center. We're now tied up through 4. It's 2-2.
Your attention, please. Now pitching.
And wow, that's it for Peralta. He's going to go 4, and they're going to have to rely on their bullpen, starting with Adrian Hauser here.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised as you are here, Haynes. I could have seen Peralta going in another inning because, yes, he was giving up the 2 runs back in the second. But for the most part, it was a good start for him today. And Milwaukee's bullpen's been struggling this year, so why you would do this is a surprise to me.
Hauser did have the day off. He pitched on Friday in that game, but not one of the 5 guys used yesterday. He faces Almora and then the top of the order with Bryant and Rizzo, as he's now 1-1 here on Almora.
If I'm correct on Friday night, Hines, Hauser had a pretty decent outing. I believe he really started to shut this Cubs offense down.
That one's outside 2-1, and looking back, he went 2 innings, only allowed 1 hit. So certainly had a great outing, and he does have the longevity as a converted starter to give them innings as many as they really need.
Well, let's back to work here for this Cubs offense then.
Two and two here on Albert Almora Jr. The delivery from the righty Hauser is swung on and missed in the dirt. He gets his first strikeout. That's the 8th strikeout by him and Peralta combined. That's not a good sign for the Cubs, including 3 Ks going back to last inning in a row.
Well, they've got the Cubs flailing right now, and this is one of these things that they're going to have to make an adjustment on. They're going to have to get more patient behind the plate. Chasing pitches out of the zone's not going to work.
Bryant 0 for 2. He gets a pitch over the heart of the plate. He rips that one into left center. And that one is gone. I thought that one was going to one-hop the wall, but reminiscent of his first career home run here at Miller Park, just into the bullpen.
Well, that ball did look like it was going to go off the wall or bounce in front of it, but it hung up there just long enough. So, well, maybe you've rattled Hauser here a little bit. So if you're the Cubs again, patient at bats are going to be the key here. Make him throw your pitch to you.
Look at that sweet swing from Chris Bryant. I mean, I love watching him hit homers because he can hit moonshots if he wants to, but he just drives the ball wherever he hits it. It's just line drive after line drive, and it's just so smooth to watch.
Yes, it is. It's like watching a symphony, watching him hit home runs or really watching him hit the ball at all.
So Rizzo now comes up, 1 out, and Cubs have re-established their lead at 3-2, but of course, we've mentioned it a couple times already, they need and want more.
Absolutely they do. They need to find a way to build upon this.
Little excuse me swing fouled off. 0-2. Delivery is at the back foot. So we see David Phelps and Eric Lauer warming up in the pen.
We saw both Phelps, I believe Lauer too, back on Friday night.
1-2 is another pitch up in the zone. This one chopped over to Smoke. But Hauser's location in that at-bat looked a little shaky.
Yes, it did. I think that he was a little rattled still after giving up that home run, though it's hard to recover from sometimes.
So here's Javier Baez, 2 outs, 1 in. He is looking for his first hit on the game. He's grounded to both the third baseman and shortstop. And he's in a 2-0 count.
So to the user on our Twitch stream that's asking about being an announcer, yes, you can be if you go to the Discord, or I believe if you go to our website, you can try and register with us. I don't know if there's any openings tomorrow or not, but you can certainly check.
I believe normally the schedule for next week will be coming out on Wednesday, and that's usually the time to sign up. But we're glad to have you here in the Twitch chat. 2-2 to Javi, grounded over to Smoke, and that's his second play in as many at-bats. But Chris Bryant, line drive shot, makes it 3-2 now in favor of the Cubs. We are halfway home here in Milwaukee, 3-2. And back here in Milwaukee, bottom 5, Heinz A.S. and JD Gregory here. It's been a great game so far. We've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen both pitchers start strong and 3 long balls. It's been a pretty good game, JD.
Yes, it has, but it's been very enjoyable. A lot of struggles by both teams, but they both overcome them, so I can't wait to see what the next move by either one of these two teams is.
So Omar Narvaez comes to the plate. He was benched yesterday in favor of Manny Pena, and Pena proved that he's been a good catcher against left-handed pitching as he hit a 2-run shot yesterday. That one's shot down the line. Is that fair? It is. Schwarber's going to come up throwing, though that'll be an easy stand-up double for Narvaez to start the 5th.
Now that.
Well, that's a good start for Milwaukee. They're going to have to figure out a way to build upon this. If you're Hendricks, you got to start to hunker down and do a better job with your locations because you're starting to lose your efficiency a little bit.
And the bottom of the order has been doing very good for this Brewers team. And now that Hura has a homer, Garcia still has an offer, but Kane with a double. Top of the order is starting to wake up, and once they wake up, this lineup is a very complete threat.
Absolutely, and you let them into it, they will strike and strike quickly. So you want to make sure that you do a better job handling them than what you've done.
1-2 here on Brock Holt. Pitch from Hendricks is outside, not close. It's 2-2.
Hendricks is starting to get a little frustrated, it looks like, Hines. This doesn't look like a very good sign.
At 50 pitches, his pitch count's in the good spot. It's just a matter of whether he can execute with the pitches he has in the tank, because it's full, and Sogard stands on deck.
That was a good time to try to get him.
What a play by Bryant. I blinked and I missed that.
He had a nice little leaping catch there. That's reminiscent of something Travis Fryman used to do.
So 1 away here, and Eric Sogard comes to the plate. JD, I interrupted you with that call. What were you about to say?
I was just saying that was reminiscent, that little jump that Chris Bryant did. Travis Fryman used to do a lot of that, and he wears number 17 just like Fryman used to, so it reminded me of him.
Crazy coincidences always seem to happen in baseball, and you love to see those. It's, you know, it's all the little things you find up, all those little tidbits of facts and figures and players you remember, and always the fun part of baseball is that's a ground out to Ian Happ for out number 2, bringing up the pitcher spot.
The pitcher, number 37.
Well, you're refreshed to see the pitcher come to the plate if you're Kyle Hendricks, but both pitchers, whether they've been one from the Brewers, well, you're going to see Ryan Braun, I guess. I was going to say both pitchers made things difficult for each other today.
Well, Braun has worked a RBI walk on Friday, and I do believe he did actually get into the game as a pinch hitter yesterday, I believe. Actually, he did not. So he's still been a tough at bat for anyone who faces him. The pedigree he comes with, both good and bad.
Now ball, one strike.
132 with runners in scoring position. Maybe this is the guy you want to see, Hines.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Quite possible if he gets another swing like that over the changeup, though Braun has hit very well against the Cubs in the past, and he continues to, as that one gets in the right center gap. We have a tie ball game, and that's a double off the bench for Ryan Braun.
Now that's a disappointment right there for Peter Kyle Hendricks. It seemed like you had, like it was a prime spot to get an out, a guy that struggles with runners in scoring position, and here you give up a big hit to him that scores a run.
So that will bring up Lorenzo Cain in the top of the order. Runner in scoring position. The go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 5th with 2 outs.
Well, you don't want to give up another run here, so you got to make your pitches matter.
Great throw from Brian across the diamond, and further danger is averted as we see Ryan Braun, who is not, as the graphic says, a pitcher. I'd love to see that. There, I believe, was actually a pitcher named Ryan Braun during the same period of time with the Royals. Fun fact. But anyway, that's not him. He ties the game up with a double. It's now 3-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for the Brewers.
Lefty Eric Lauer comes in. ERA around 6, went down. Well, stayed about the same. Gave up a solo homer yesterday in 1 inning.
Leading off for the Cubs, the left fielder, Kyle Schwarber.
But going back to those graphics, didn't it do that to you yesterday too, Hines? I don't know, was it Chris Taylor?
That didn't happen to me. I think it was Cookie and EB though, for the Dodgers Mets. But yes, it was a graphic that did indeed happen. Strange.
It is. That goes to show you computers aren't always perfect either.
Hey! 1-1.
See Phelps continuing to worm, and Devin Williams has now accompanied him, with Lauer now finding his way into the ball game.
Seems like Williams is a guy that Council likes to have get up and throw.
Whoa, that's a diving attempt by Kane. He misses it. Schwarber is chugging around for 3, and that will likely be ruled a triple.
But that's a good break there by the Cubs, because a fly ball will score a run for you and you can get the lead back.
Contreras.
The lefty not panning out here, and the lefty pitchers have not been panning out at all for Craig Counsell as a whole.
No, they haven't. You'd think he'd want to do something about that.
Because they've had some favorable matchups, and, well, they've been anything but favorable in the outcomes, as that's popped by Contreras, and a major bullet dodged there, as we have 1 out now, and it'll be Jason Hayward.
Now batting, the right fielder, Jason Hayward.
Contreras looked like he was a little late on that one. Couldn't get the ball quite deep as he wanted to.
And Jason Hayward, a homer, a double, and maybe Schwarber stole his triple in his bid for a cycle, but we'll see what he can do here.
Nope. Ball 1, no strike.
It's 1-0 on Hayward, facing the lefty Lauer, and he rifles that one. It's stopped by Sogard. A run will score, though, on an RBI ground out. So not a base hit for Hayward on his birthday, but an RBI to add to his tally.
He still gets the job done right there. You really needed to get that run in from third, and Hayward does it. You want it to happen any way you can.
So Ian Happ now batting from the other side of the plate, looking for his first hit in a while, and he flies that one to center field. Kane on the run this time, no need to dive. Makes the catch, but the Cubs get another run across the plate. Brewers looking to respond in kind like they did last inning. It's 4-3 to the Cubs. Bottom 6 here in Milwaukee. JD, they've come back, the Cubs. They're showing some fight that they haven't shown in a while. But this Brewers team, they just have not been saying die at all. It's been nice to see that, you know, a team that is out of the running for all intents and purposes is still fighting and, you know, not almost saying, all right, well, let's just get that high draft pick, and instead, you know, doing something about their results.
Well, I know that they're disappointed about this season, and the best thing to do is to just go out like we talked about in the pregame and try to play spoiler role, and that is what they have done today. And they know that a win would equal a sweep, and that would kind of put a little bit of a tarnish on the Cubs' immediate part of the season, at least.
Cubs will be having a tough couple games against the Reds in Cincinnati as that one's rifled through, and a base hit here for Garcia to lead it off for Hura.
Well, if you want a rally starter, if you're the Brewers, that's it right there.
So that's the first hit of the game for Garcia. So after having the first 3 guys all go hitless yesterday, all of them have a hit today, but that is going to be 6-4 to 3 from Hura, so he can't get the job done on this occasion.
Now that's the left field.
Hura hit a home run his last time up too, so good job by Hendricks getting back at him.
Well, the Cubs have been the ones grounding into all the double plays the past week. It seems like they can't get a ball to go through once they get a runner on first, but now able to deal that damage to someone else.
0-1.
But that was huge here, because we're going to start getting into the later stages of this game, and a little bit of a confidence booster if you're the Cubs defense.
So Yelich here in a 1-1 count, and Hendricks currently is the longest tenured starter for a game in this series, and he's only gone 5 2/3. That tells a lot of the story.
It absolutely does. This is a quality start here today by Hendricks. It's going to give your bullpen some relief. You're going to need your bullpen, I would assume, for this week against Cincinnati. So, you know, if you can get even one, maybe even get them into the 8th inning, that would be a great thing for this Cubs team.
That one is shot down the line. Foul. So we'll do it again here at 2-2. We have a trivia question in our Discord. It's not actually in the Twitch chat, but if you're in the Twitch, anybody, you're feel free to answer this as I give the question. It comes from our friend Great Ether Boss. Name the 2 players with 100+ walks and 100+ RBIs, but less than 15 homers in a single season, and these are both post 2000, as that's a walk.
The first baseman.
Well, definitely worse has happened with Christian Yelich at the plate. If you can put him on and get the weaker bat of Justin Smoke, you want to do it. So, not that big of a disappointment if you're Kyle Hendricks.
So Smoke at the plate, 2 outs, 1 on. His pickoff attempt is unsuccessful as he dives back safely, but he does have a good record, Hendricks, for pickoffs.
Hey.
You definitely want to keep your eye on Yelich, because Yelich is a base stealer. He stole 30 of them last year.
And he goes there. The throw from Wilson. They got him. What a throw from Wilson.
Well, that's a huge out right there. Again, Yelich is a speedster, and to be able to gun him down like that, great way to end the inning.
Pinch hitting for the Cubs. Number 2, Nico.
So here is Nico Horner. That'll be it for Kyle Hendricks. But JD started good, had some rocks in the middle, but now he's doing very good.
Well, that was a gritty performance by him, and he should be proud of it. The Cubs have rewarded him with a lead, but they, like we talked about earlier, they have to build on it. Horner's a good guy to try and have at the plate to try and do that with.
He swings and misses there against Lauer. 1-1 on him here, and we're already top 7.
This has been a pretty quick game. These pitchers have really worked and dealt this game.
Fouled away here, 2-2.
I got to count 2-2.
Nico Horner, the 2-2 count, looking to get something going as he pops that one foul, and Smoke will make the grab for out number 1.
The center fielder, number 5, Albert Almora.
Albert Almora at the plate. Chris Bryant is on deck, and he will certainly get an at-bat here. It's whether he'll have anybody on for him.
Ball. Counts 1-0.
With the way Almora crashed into the fence when he made that catch earlier, part of me surprised that he's here because he very well could have hurt himself.
He flies out to left, and yeah, we've seen a lot of guys get hurt doing that. Byron Buxton, sometimes it seems like his limbs are made of glass when he runs into the wall, because he's a hard baseball player and he plays hard and seems to get injured. As hey, it's Shark Shavery in the booth. Man, I've not seen you in how long?
A long time. I just got off a 2.5-hour phone conversation, checked the stream and saw it was top 7th, and raced to my computer so we can roll out some barrels.
All right, I'm excited. I'm glad to have you back. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, apartment's been a mess, my arm's been a mess, but stuff is finally coming back together and it feels great.
So how's your hand doing?
Much better. Got to be a bit careful still, but I can play without stuff going numb.
That's a start.
It is very good. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of practice on several different things, but usually it's just the hard stuff that messes me up. So just got to retrain, get back into practice, and use good posture so I don't mess it up again.
Chris Bryant strikes out to end the frame, and perfect time for you, Shark, to take it away for the 7th inning stretch. Well, thank you as always, Shark. It's great. If you want to stick around for the rest of the half inning or however long you'd like, we'll love to have you along.
Certainly. It's an exciting game we have here. I can say I have not been able to watch any of it because of the phone call, but seeing this, it's great to see that, for me, the Cubs up by 1, but it's also great to see a close race here.
Well, you missed 3 homers. Jason Hayward on his birthday, a 2-run homer. Birthday bomb,
man.
and Chris Bryant had one earlier along with Keston Hero, a long one to straightaway center. Normally you bring the offense.
You missed some good defensive plays too, Shark.
That's fair. Another ground rule double. We've seen 2 of them today.
Show us like a tennis cam where that bounced. Is that? Oh man!
Yeah, I guess it just looked foul, or fair, excuse me.
Oh, I was convinced that was foul at first. So when I saw the ground rule double, I was a wee bit surprised.
Well, it was definitely on the edge there. I could have seen it going, a call going either way.
Yeah, I definitely could see it depending on who's officiating, but I begrudgingly have to agree with the decision.
Angel Hernandez calls it a strike. It's in the zone. 2-0 here on Narvaez, and some danger now for the Cubs, and Brandon Morrow's been pretty good out of the pen. He really needs to pull it together here.
Absolutely, you'd hate to see Morrow give this up after how well he's pitched so far this season.
One-two here on Narvaez, and it's Justin Smoke, not the fastest runner on second, as that's flown, and Schwarber is camped under it, and that'll be out number one and bring up Brock Holt.
The batter, the third baseman.
It's really nice to get an out right after giving up that ground rule double. That is definitely risky, suddenly having a runner in scoring position, considering you have the go-ahead run at the plate now.
Count 1-0.
Holt 208 with runners in scoring position, not the best of tallies, but over the Mendoza line, that's something to be said.
Well, I feel like just being like, well, at least they're over the Mendoza line. If you have to say that, something's still a little bit questionable.
Fair enough. That's up and out of the zone at 98. It's 2-1 here on Holt, and it's Sogard standing on deck, followed by the pitcher spot. That's fouled away, 2-2.
Well, if you're the Cubs, you definitely want to have your kid in the game defensively here, because an error like we saw on Friday night with Albert Almora could be pretty costly with this Brewers offensive team.
Throw across from Javi, so 2 away now, and danger getting closer to being averted here with Sogard at the plate.
Hopefully for the Brewers, Sogard doesn't do another ground out, having 2 on the night.
We just need one hit over to the other side of the infield and have a ground out to third, a ground out, I believe, or no, he needs to ground to short. That's where he needs to go.
Well, that's out.
The 1-1 is grounded, that one down the line, but foul. 1-2 on Sogard. Things getting a little shaky here, but keeps the heart pumping, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. That's kind of what baseball is about and sports in general.
That's ground. Is that going to get through? It is.
It does.
Almora's throw to the plate is safe, and the runner's going to second, and he is out. That is rather confusing base running. The inning's going to end at 4-4.
That is just prime bot ball right there. I used the word the other day, bot ball-esque, for when you stretch a play that no one in the real world in their right mind would attempt. But it happens all the time, and it frequently ends the inning too, which makes it that much crazier.
I have seen a lot of those.
Well, you would have expected better out of Eric Sogard too. He's a better player than that, but it reminds me of last weekend when we saw Justin Smoke try to come home on a play that he never should have come home on and got thrown out at the plate.
Ball, that's in.
Does certainly keep things a bit interesting.
So what do you know? We're back to tied. It's 4-4, and last 2 innings we've seen a tie game. I believe it went to extras last week at Wrigley, JD, with a walk-off, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we did. I believe that was Javier Baez that hit it too, the guy that's coming to the plate right now.
The batter, number 9.
That's a ground out from Rizzo, and yep, Javi Baez, and then Schwarber would be next.
I would love to see some action here from Baez, considering he's a little bit cold tonight. It feels like he's due for a hit.
Well, Shark, you always seem to bring the offense with you, and we could use some offense here. I think Javi hit a homer one of the last times you came on the air, right, when you joined us.
sounds about right. And unfortunately, I think I brought some offense for the Brewers a little bit, but I've also talked about that. I monkey paw things. I bring it for the wrong teams frequently. At least in my eyes, the wrong team.
0-2 here on Javi. Eric Lauer out for his 3rd inning of work. And that's a fly ball, and that hung up a little more than I thought, and Garcia will catch it for out number 2.
Now back.
Oh, and great Ether Boss is pointing out that it was a game-tying homer by Baez and a walk-off by Happ.
Ah, okay. I do remember that now. Pitch to Schwarber is in there, strike.
He got a triple? Where was the ball for that triple?
Lorenzo Cain dove over the top of it.
Ah, that'll do it.
Nope. Ball
Are you
one.
questioning his speed?
Well, I just, anytime there's a triple, I'm always curious as to where the ball placement is and how the play happens. I just saw a triple yesterday in the Bopball Tigers game, so I love triples personally, so I'm fascinated with how they come by just because they're so rare this day and age.
The 2-1 pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Swung on and missed, strike 3, a 1-2-3 inning for Lauer. That will probably conclude his day with 3 innings. We had bottom 8, it's 4-4.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for Chicago.
Well, Alec Mills is coming in, and Shark and JD, I know you guys both know the deal with MLB The Show, putting in a lot of long relief guys late in tie games, so I'll avoid you the rant.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how it works out. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, I guess.
No, maybe you're
He is pinch hitting now.
Well, maybe you're thinking that this game's going to go into extra innings, but I, from that standpoint, it's a good move, but definitely something to make you scratch your head about.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Adbert Alzaline, Ryan Tepera warming up in the pen, and Manny Pena hit a 2-run homer yesterday as a starter against John Lester, so he's someone to be careful of.
Ball, that's out.
2-1.
I'm going to be really interested in seeing more bullpen action. Is this really going to be? Is he going to be like a 1-inning guy? Are they going to use him for just the 8th? Or are they going to bring him back in the 9th? Are they going to utilize that bullpen? It kind of just makes me scratch my head because I didn't catch both the names, but that's 2 righties warming up with a righty on the mound.
Well, I will tell you one thing: is this is a pop out. The Cubs only have righties in their bullpen, so there's no way you saw a lefty.
Oh, man.
But also, what was I gonna say? I was going somewhere. Mills is due up 4th next inning, so that might be the what sets the tone for whether he continues.
Now that's what happens when I have to have my computer off for several weeks and I miss out on a bunch of stuff. I would have hoped that Cubs would have managed to get a lefty in. It was very nice.
Some silky glove work from Chris Bryant this whole ball game. If you end up going back, Shark, there's a great period of play. I put it in our highlight section on Discord. I think it was in the 3rd inning, correct me if I'm wrong, JD, in which he made a jump throw from the other side of the shift, where he was playing shortstop essentially, followed by Javier Baez making a great spin and throw, like in the period of 3 pitches or something.
Yeah, I believe that was the 3rd inning that happened in.
And you clipped that?
I did not, but I know where it is, and I can go about finding it. That along with the homer.
I will certainly have to go back and catch those because that sounds quite exciting.
That is a little nubber and a long run for Mills just to realize that that's foul. Last thing we need is him pulling a hammy trying to run over there. 2-2 on Garcia.
I always feel the need to say 2-2-2. Someone once told me never swing on 2-2-2. I found out not many people have heard that or said that. I don't understand the logic, but I'm always curious with that adage.
Well, he doesn't swing on 2-2-2. Indeed. Strikeout for Mills ends the frame, and we head top 9. We're still tied up.
That was a nice quick inning by Mills. Only 11 pitches required to get the 3 outs, I believe.
Number 71.
I believe you're right, as we see the lefty Hader from the pen, and we've had there have been some issues with the setup closer role for the Brewers. It's basically just been a ping pong back and forth between him and Knebel getting the closer role, and neither of them really instilling confidence.
Well, if anything, it gives the Cubs a different look here because the Cubs have been seeing mostly right-handers all game today. So, good way to try to make the Cubs hitters turn around a little bit.
Contreras, Hayward, and Happ will be the hitters here for the Cubs in the 9th inning, as that is a check swing but a called strike.
Looks like that pitch just kind of dropped into the zone there.
Swung on a miss, 2-2. Contreras has been the guy who's been on fire of late. He's the one you want to start a rally, as that is ripped, but Brock Holt doesn't have to move a muscle.
Up next for the Cubs, the right fielder.
Hit it right at him.
Jason Hayward.
Could have gone a little bit higher, that would have been nice, but gotta give it to him. That was a great catch.
So the birthday boy, Jason Hayward, 2 for 3, a homer, a double, and an RBI ground out on his line. So he's been clutch all game.
I can't ask for much more than what he's provided thus far, and I would love to see him keep it going.
That one misses. It's 2-0.
That, I would have said scrape the zone, but oh well.
That's outside.
And now it's 3-0. What more could you ask for Jason Hayward than a 1-out walk? Bring up Happ and then the pitcher's spot. 3-0. In there for a strike.
Soon, if we get to the pitcher's spot, Hines, that you're going to see a pinch hitter. Because if you've got a guy like Azalai that can get you some innings warming up, I think that's the way that you go.
Well, Hayward grounds out to first. Justin Smoke's been busy. And that'll bring up Ian Happ, who we've mentioned it a couple of times now. He is struggling mightily.
Yes, he is.
Ooh. 0 for 11 on the series, yeah.
Make that 0 for 12. Grounds out to short. So we're heading bottom 9. The Brewers try to walk it off with the heart of their order. The Cubs looking to force extras.
Leading up for the Brewers, the second baseman.
Bottom 9.
Big threat coming up to the plate right now. I would personally be nervous already having that 2-run homer in the 4th. See if you can do something right now to walk it off.
And even if he gets on base, Christian Yelich is on deck. He is equally as, well, do we need to say anything more?
Mills doing well, not being afraid, already up 0-2 in a pretty comfortable place. We'll see if he tries to get him to chase or something like that.
He does. Karam. Wilson is not going to have a play. So score that, a strikeout, wild pitch.
That is not the way to start off this inning if you're Alec Mills. Definitely treacherous. You're going to get a fast runner here at a pinch run.
Roxton, the pinch runner. Saw him pinch run a while ago and play third. So we'll see if it goes extras. Does he play second base? A natural outfielder.
Ball 1.
I still can't get over that wild pitch, just right through the 5-hole. Just yesterday I saw the Opal Tigers catcher get his leg down in a nice butterfly kind of goalie save, but unfortunately couldn't execute it this time and tied up. Letting a strikeout advance is the last thing you want with Yelich coming up.
2 balls, no strikes.
He's in a 2-0 count, and I'm sort of surprised that David Ross did not go to the pen here. You got Kimbrel, you got Tepera, you got Wick, you got an abundance of really good relievers out there who can just pitch a shutdown inning.
I expected Tepera to come out, honestly.
I was going to say that same thing. In Kimbrel's case, he blew a game for you last weekend, so you don't want to give him another shot at doing that.
Whoa, 77 curveball. Love the slow pitches.
And Mills has a very good slow Bugs Bunny curveball. 2-1 pitch. He did, in fact, and fouled it off.
That's something I always say I love to see is when a pitcher can go between those 4-seamers and then any kind of weird off-speed pitch, just to throw them off their groove.
Well, we saw that a lot with that's grounded. 3, 6, what a turn, and 3. That's a double play.
I'll tell you, I'm a little surprised that we didn't see Bruxton with a steal attempt right there, because you don't want to hit into a double play. And if Yelich sneaks a ball into the outfield there, the game's probably over. So a little bit of a curiosity.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And Yelich is a good contact hitter. A hit and run, is something you can rely on him to be able to execute.
0-1.
Swung on and missed here. And back to your point, Shark, about changing velocities. That's the thing about Kyle Hendricks. He'll throw that changeup in there, and then his 87-mile-an-hour sinker looks like it's coming in at 95. That's hit down into left field. Is that going to get down? It's over. A walk-off shot.
Definitely deflating for David Ross and the Cubs. A nightmare scenario.
I wish you could see my face right now.
Wish you could see mine.
Mine as well. Wow.
But gotta give it to him. They down but not out, managed to get it in do or die time. So great game by the Brewers, but gotta question the pitching decisions and the choice to not go to the bullpen. Like I said, I will stand by. They should have put into Para.
Absolutely, that pitch is right down the middle there, right where Smoke could really park it, and that's what he does.
Well, that concludes this series. It's a series sweep for the Brewers and JD, and then I'll turn it over to you, Shark, to answer the same question. Where do the Cubs go from here? They have the Reds coming up before they travel to Toronto. It's been a rough week, and they're still a good team, and they've been doing well, but where do they go?
Well, I think that's a little hard of a question to answer. You've got to get this offense together because, again, they got off to a pretty good start and they tried to claw their way into it, but this team can't hit when it matters right now, and I think that's going to be a huge problem moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, going to the Reds, like you said, Reds are right behind them in the Central, right behind their tail. With the standings that we had at the beginning of the day, only 3.5 games back. So that's going to be a really intense series. The Reds are certainly going to be bringing their A game to that, since they are hot on their tails. With the Blue Jays, you said, they're a 500 team, but they're nothing to trifle with still. I think really what you need to do is utilize your bullpen better and kind of not let those little mistakes add up to a loss, especially when you're creeping later and later into the season.
Well, Shark, here's the highlights you missed. Look at that shot of a homer.
What? Moonshot. Oh, man.
4 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They left 3 men on
And
base.
that was followed up then by Keston here, and that one went far too.
3 hours and 18 minutes.
Just clobbering the balls. Oh,
For
man.
joining us here this afternoon.
I love to
And
see
we
that.
remind you to please drive home safely.
And then right before you, well, a couple innings before you came in, a laser from Chris Bryant.
Oh, it doesn't have the height. It does not need, or doesn't have the distance necessarily, or height, but fortunately those walls are a bit short. Homer's a homer. I love to see it. You get to see Chris Bryant's face smiling at you too.
Ryan Braun off the bench, getting a double to tie it as a pinch hitter. Hayward RBI ground out. That would give them the lead, and that was in the 6th inning. And then once this turns over, then Sogard tied the game with you joining us, Shark, and it was an exciting game. I don't think we could have asked for anything more.
I enjoyed the highlights and what I got to see, even if it's a Cubs loss. I really don't hate the Brewers, and you know, walk-offs are exciting regardless of who it is, and it's just baseball for you. What's your take on Smoke getting player of the game? I'm all for it.
I'm good with that. I think if the Cubs won, it would be Jason Hayward, but given that Smoke hit the walk-off, if it wasn't a walk-off, I'd say go Jason Hayward, even though he was the losing player, but Justin Smoke, I think, earned it with that walk-off and going oppo with it.
But we also saw him make a great defensive play early on in this game and take a hit away from somebody, too.
Well, 5-4, your final here from Milwaukee. The Cubs get swept by the Brew Crew, and the Brewers end it with some style, thanks to Justin Smoke. So this has been an exciting series, despite on my case, and I think JDU and Shark as well would be a little disappointing for the Cubs, but we'll see. We'll be back with Cubs Reds coming on Tuesday. So we'll have 2 of those games Tuesday, Wednesday. As for the Brewers, I can check the schedule. In fact, I do not see any of their games, barring me being blind.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think there is theoretically the possibility to pick it up for one of the open slots, but at the moment, no more Brewers game on the docket.
Well, Justin Smoke, your player of the game, and with that, we are about to take you out, I believe, if I'm correct, to the East Coast. It'll be Red Sox and Rays, and I'm joined now in the booth by Great Ether Boss, who had a great trivia question in the Discord, and P. Mister. How you guys doing?
I am doing fine. I did just answer the trivia question and nobody else had the answers. The question was who in the past 2000s had 100 walks and 100 RBIs in the same season, but less than 15 homers as well. And the answers were Bobby Abreu in 2006, Phillies legend Bobby Abreu, and John Olerud in 2000.
Huh.
I would never have gotten that given all the time in the world.
Nobody else had anywhere close to it, so I don't blame you. But yeah, it's AL East Ball, Red Sox and Rays. I'm back with P. Mister. P. Mister, it's great to have you back. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, getting ready for some Red Sox and Rays, a little AL East clash, and Rays trying to make some moves in the wild card race with the White Sox slipping as of recent action.
Yeah, White Sox earlier not even a few weeks ago, we were talking about, Twins, Indians, White Sox. That AL Central is right now white hot in terms of the race, but White Sox lagging behind a little bit. They're now 8 games out of the Twins in the AL Central and only a half game up from the race for the second spot of the wild card, with the Indians sitting comfortably 6 games ahead of both of them right now there. And this is a very interesting time right now already in August even.
Well, the one thing that's really plagued the White Sox, and P. Mister, you and I talked about this yesterday, has been untimely errors. If they would not make them, they'd be in a little bit more games. I know yesterday they would have had their chances if it weren't for errors in that second inning, and they've got to get that shored up.
Yeah, no, definitely just cleaning up the errors and also being mentally smart, because there were a couple plays where it was you had to scratch your head. Why would they try to risk a play when they could have easily gotten the one out?
And you look here at Washington, Baltimore. Washington right now just kind of trouncing the NL East. Sorry, the only team really in contention. Obviously, the Braves only a game and a half or so now behind them. And Baltimore, the only reason that the Red Sox are not in last place right now, hitting rock bottom right now for the team as a whole, 40-77.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They're on an 11-game losing streak with this, I think.
I don't care about the Orioles enough to check how much they're losing.
That would sound about right. Baltimore being kind of the punching bag of the AL East for both the Yankees and the Red Sox, and seems like in recent years the Rays also.
Well, you say recent years, but it seems like this year they are doing quite a bit better. Yeah, Baltimore has something to be desired. At least I can say my Detroit Tigers are ahead of them, but that is not saying a whole lot.
Well, don't forget, you guys are right now only in fourth. The Royals, team that actually looked quite interesting earlier this season, just completely fell apart. They are the worst record in the AL, only one game better than the worst team in the MLB as a whole, which is the Pirates at 37-80.
Let's go, Pirates.
Oh boy,
Come
them.
on. Let's get those Pirates down where they need to be. I love
They got rid of Cubs legend Jorge Soler.
That's all they had to do. All they had to do was just sell. And we've talked before the game, Mr. Rays making a lot of bullpen moves during the trade deadline. Of course, they needed that throughout the season. It was something that they had a lot of issues with, and they managed to get some of their guys. Of course, if I'm really quickly checking, somewhere down the line, it's too many trades to check. Goodness me.
Yes, a lot of moves and deals done on deadline day, so it's quite a big feed there to shuffle through.
Here we go. They acquired Tyjon Walker from Seattle for Paul Campbell. They got Andrew Chafin from the Braves for Garrett Clevenger, and then they also got catcher Austin Romaine for infielder Tristan Gray. They made a couple deadline moves, and it seems to have worked so far. But this is one of the bigger tests, obviously, now that we're starting to really get into the month of August, only a week or so in, and this is definitely going to be one of those bigger games, even though the Red Sox, of course, not the best in the AL East. They're right now improving a lot more after their trade deadline.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of tests, Atlanta getting a real test from Miami today, only pulling off a 2-1 win, and had to score both those runs in the top of the ninth here.
Looked like a 2-run homer, too, and they only had 2 hits on the game. That's efficiency, but concerning that that's all that they got.
Yeah, especially against a Miami team that is, we'll say, well below 500, I think is accurate.
That's fair.
Better than usual.
Unless we're looking at real life this year, where somehow they're, 9-3, 10-4, something stupid like that.
Don't get me started.
They're sitting below 450, so, I mean, they're pretty well below 500.
Yeah, it looks like it was a 2-run homer. It was not a no-hitter going into the top of the ninth. Alcantara had a hit already, but it looks like a couple walks and then that homer.
Hey, any way you can get them sometimes is how you do it.
Where are we going next?
Where are the
Do we have
almighty
the Diamondbacks game? They're on today.
D-backs and Pirates. So how much is this slaughter going to be by?
Ooh.
2.
6-4. Wow. And it actually was a comeback as well.
Well, George, I'd be darned.
2 for 3, 5 RBIs. Look at that.
You gotta see who got all this stuff. Man, I love that.
2 homers from Walker.
I gotta say, it's a shame the Pirates were playing the Diamondbacks because I want the Pirates to overtake the Royals, but love seeing the Snakes win.
So we have the tying homer in the top of the 6th, 3-run shot, and then he had the go-ahead homer in the top of the 8th, looks like. So hey, shout out him.
Yeah, any way you can get the win, and shout out Duggo for doing snakeball things and coming from behind.
No, he would have loved this game. He would have loved that.
That would have been a fantastic.
We just needed pitchers
game.
hitting and it would be done.
Exactly.
That is very true.
Rake.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I had to have a pitcher start my offense in one of my Diamond Dynasty games, and that was not fun. I somehow won that game.
So it worked.
I did an experiment out of the park where I just had a team of only pitchers. I made sure no like position players were called up or signed free agent deals in the minor leagues or anything. Only pitchers throughout the whole season. It was the worst season I've ever seen simulated.
Did you win?
Guessed.
No.
Possibly predicted that.
We won maybe 3 games somehow out of 162.
I think that's better than when SB Nation did the internet controls everything we do in Out of the Park,
I
where
love
they
that
like
video
feed
so much.
thousands of batters.
I knew the second they were like, we're going to have you control our season. I was like, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by pitch, hit by
But
pitch.
they won a couple. That was the crazy thing. Like the fact that they won anything, I was just flabbergasted.
Yeah, very much so. But I mean, me and P Mister are ready for this Red Sox Rays game, whenever that may be. We're just looking through the rest of the game so far today.
Well, I might take a quick peek in the Twins Royals here. Not sure what the tech bot's saying.
Tech bot, tech god, Tech 9,
Tekken?
Tekken 7.
The most overused fighting game that hasn't had an update in close to 10 years, I would say.
Oh. Wow.
I
That
love to
Twins
see
team is
that.
tough. My goodness.
Oh,
How many 2-hit games? Donaldson with the triple.
hey!
All the people to get a triple, it's Donaldson.
Now, I would have
Name
loved
so
to see
exasperatingly
that.
large, it runs out in the RBI section. He had a stolen base!
Well then,
What is going on?
welcome
He
to
switched bodies with Byron Buxton.
Yeah,
We've
Ricky
entered the
has...
fumble dimension, oh no.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Oh
So-
my goodness.
If we have entered the fumble dimension, ladies and gentlemen, the playoffs are going to look completely chaotic, and just roll with it for the time
Kansas
being.
City against Pittsburgh in the World Series, the two teams.
Oh boy.
That would be
Oh,
a
man.
show.
Who do I want to lose more? Who do I want to win less?
I wish Beardy could have been on the call for this one.
That's
he would've been so-
Oh, and John Gray doing good things. That was something that I know Beardy thought up. That was the guy he wanted since like day one, it sounded like, and he's doing good.
What do you
Gatterall
think the
did
change-
actually okay-ish with 6 strikeouts, but I'm looking at those Kansas
Okay-ish.
City ERAs, and I'm like, oh no.
Ouch.
Yeah, 4 earned runs for Hahn is not going to help that ERA.
Oh my.
In only 1 1/3. Whew. But yeah, it looks like we're finally going to get started with this beautiful game here over in wherever Tampa Bay is at this point. I don't even know. Are they in?
I think they're still technically in Clearwater, although they're kind of out in their own island in the middle of the bay.
It's
Yeah.
interesting looking at the records, yet the Red Sox have that slight edge on the average, so
Yeah,
always
welcome to
perplexed
Red.
when I see stuff like that.
Welcome to
No,
Red
the
Sox
Rays have a
baseball.
big old advantage on the ERA, and that's what's
Yes.
frightening me.
Yes, they do.
Yikes.
I'm looking at that 3.3. As a team, 3.3 is terrifying.
I mean, yeah, I think the Cubs are around there too. It's crazy to see their rotation, but let's quickly. I will get out of your hair along with JD and Shark. Any last notes from either of you two?
Thanks for
Just-
letting me hang around. I really do appreciate it. Exciting game we just watched. This was sure to be an exciting game coming up, and me being a moderate Sox fan, so I'll step away. I'll see you guys in the top of the 7th inning if you want to stretch.
Are you really trying to steal my 7th inning stretch in 10 seconds? Monster.
No, he's always welcome here.
I offered. If you would like to do something else, you can certainly do
You
it.
monster. Don't
All
take
right.
the only thing left in this weird season of the Red Sox.
All right, JD. Any last notes before we turn it over?
Just all you can really do if you're the Cubs is shake this one off and come back and take it out on the Reds starting tomorrow or Tuesday or whenever.
All right. Well, I'm Heinz AS, joined by JD and of course Shark Shavery. Thanks to both of you, and thanks to everyone watching. But for now, Cubs lose 5-4 on a walk-off from Smoke, and we hand you off to Great Ether Boss and P. Mister for this one.
Thank you very much, guys, and we are in beautiful Tropicana Field, America Park. I don't know which one. All I know is that you can't see the roof because it's too scary. And Tyler Glasnow is on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays here. It's Boston versus Tampa Bay. See there, Glasnow, 3.11 ERA, 7.5 record in 23 starts, and a 144 strikeout pace right now. He is definitely their main guy in the rotation right now. And leading off for the Red Sox here is going to be Jose Peraza. 256 is a leadoff hitter, and a 309 on-base percentage is not what you want, but at the same time, that's what the Red Sox have to deal with. First pitch, it is 5:13 Eastern, 4:13 Central, and it's going to be in there, no, for ball one.
Ooh, yeah, that was definitely a 50-50 call, but yeah, Tampa Bay, if anyone pays attention to the ALs, they're kind of the pitching central of the American League. Always seem to pull out really good pitches, whether it be bullpen guys, starters. Always seem to live and die by their pitching, and the offense kind of comes second to them.
Very much so. Well, the 1-0 going to be skied over left field side. It's going to fall foul, hooking. It's going to be a 1-1 count. You see the weather, 67 degrees, clear skies, and no wind, but you wouldn't know that because of the dome around the stadium that covers it up from every single hurricane that the Rays have ever played baseball in.
Yeah, I still can't protect them from lightning strikes, though, as there have been several cases of lightning strike in the building, and I'm not talking about home runs here.
That's going to be outside, 2-1 count. And yes, of course, again, it is me, Great Ether Boss, in the booth with P. Mr. 3. Our wonderful, wonderful Red Sox are desperately trying to get something going, and they're definitely doing much better right now after this trade deadline. Is it's going to be looked at 3-1 count early on here for Jose Peraza.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to shake up the Major League roster a little bit, get a new fresh face or two in there in order to really help reset your confidence a little bit.
It's going to be up high, four-seamer, 99 miles per hour, but couldn't find the strike zone. As it's going to be a leadoff walk for Jose Peraza, who is capable of stealing bases, but we may not see that. And here comes the number 2 batter, Andrew Benintendi. And if we get an early Benny bomb, I will lose my mind. And Be Mr. You and hopefully the Bob Ball universe know just how much I love this man at the number 2 position, as he's going to look at strike one.
Oh, trust me, the females in my family absolutely love him for various reasons, we'll call it.
Well, he's hitting 1 for 11 with more than a couple strikeouts against Glasnow. So, for the most part in his career, Glasnow has had Andrew Benintendi's number, but he's going to definitely try and change that here, as it's going to be 1-1 on that low four-seamer.
Just trying to remember, I think I was actually working for one of the Red Sox minor leagues affiliate when Benintendi was making his way through the system, so I did get to see him play down the minors a couple times, and it was a fun experience to say the least.
Well, it's a 1-2, swung on and struck out. First strikeout of the day here for Tyler Glasnow, and after managing to not really find the strike zone for that first at-bat with Peraza, manages to make Benintendi swing in a very low inside pitch there.
Yeah, still not finding the strike zone, but if you can get a hitter to swing, it's just as good as finding the strike zone.
There's JD Martinez, arguably the big star for the Red Sox right now after Mookie Betts was traded to the Dodgers in a trade that I still don't like talking about. 270 on the year, 26 homers, 73 ribbies, but his OPS is not looking as hot as it was when he first signed with the Red Sox. Of course, he was a Triple Crown contender, much less MVP contender, as that one's going to be grounded. Pitcher manages to get to it out of nowhere. Glasnow with a 1-6-3 double play to end the top of the first. Interesting reactions. Yeah, great reactions. Interesting, but great altogether. And we're getting to the bottom of the first. A technical 3 up, 3 down, as we're going to see Colin McHugh on the mound for the Red Sox. 18 starts, a 6.4 record, 3.33 ERA, much better than a lot of people expected, and a 98 and 29 strikeout to walk ratio. Really, the only thing I'm looking at that isn't the best in the world is a 1.24 whip, but at the same time, McHugh, he had a lot less expectations on him, and he's definitely exceeded all the expectations, no matter how big or little he's had. Leadoff hitter Willie Adames having a career year.
Let's put it this way: any Red Sox pitcher outside of maybe Evaldi and like 2 others, Eduardo Rodriguez being another, nobody has any expectations for anybody in that Red Sox, whether it's the starting rotation or the bullpen.
Yeah, well, of course, Eovaldi had those expectations, and he has not lived up to it this season at all in this Botball universe. He was recently moved to the long relief position after the Red Sox reacquired Rick Porcello for the remainder of this year on his one-year contract from the Mets for, a middling AAA prospect, 26 years old, wasn't really expected to be called up, but they wanted Porcello back. They wanted at least some sort of starting pitcher that was able to really hold down, 5, 6, 7 innings easily. As that was going to be long outside. I was definitely aimed to go outside, make him swing at that, but it's going to be a 2-2 after that slider.
Yeah, another thing Tampa is really known for is good patient hitters. Speaking of that, nearly trying to drill his teammates in the dugout there with that foul ball.
2-2 count once again. Going to be looped up right center field. It will fall, and it's going to be more than a base hit. It looks like it will be a double as it's off the wall. JBJ takes it, and he will hold at second for the leadoff double. His 28th on the season for Willy Adames. And again, P-Mister, a career year for him here in the number 1 position in Tampa. So he has a career high in RBIs, even in the number 1 spot. And managing to get that double in the gap. He could have honestly gone for 3, but he decided to hold up, and here comes Brandon Lau, also having a career year in terms of the power.
Yeah, definitely could have made an attempt at third, but the thing is, Jackie Bradley does have a pretty nice cannon out there in center, so it would have been a very tight play. And especially here in the bottom of the first with no out, you want to play as conservative as you can in the early going here.
Yeah, well, really quickly, we can go with the rest of the lineups. Of course, Peralta second, Benintendi left field, JD DH, Xander Bogaerts shortstop, Devers over at third, Moreland at first, JBJ in center, Verdugo in right, and Christian Vasquez at catcher. And then for the Rays, Willy Adames at short, Lau at second, Meadows at right, Hunter and over in left. And the graphic immediately goes away the second I need it.
Don't you just love it?
No, I hate it.
I know.
I'm over here trying to tell the fans who's on the mound.
Well, let's call him McHugh right now, and he just blew a four-seamer by for the first strikeout of the day.
I mean, hey, shout out him for managing to get it over where he needed to be. But as I was saying, Ji-Man Choi is over on first base for the 5 spot. On Renfroe in left in the 4 spot. Yandy D playing third and 6. Yoshitomo, hitting DH at 6. Yandy 7th at third. Kiermaier in center at 8th, and then the catcher Austin Romaine batting 9th. So there, once I'm done, it shows again. The timing of the graphics is never on my side.
No, it's not.
0-2 count early on Austin Meadows. You see there, second on the Rays in doubles, only 23, just behind Yandy, just behind the leadoff double man himself.
Ball 1. The count is 1-2.
And it's a 1-2 count now after that 12 curve. And yeah, Willy Adames speedster over already on second, and that's definitely a risk. Even a slight little blooper into left or right field, even center field by Meadows, can definitely score him from second. It's going to be a ground ball. Peraza will quickly get it over to Michie, as I do mention earlier, Adames does indeed move to third on the ground out, so it is moving him up. So the runner is now 90 feet away from taking an early 1 lead. And the number 4 batter, Hunter Renfroe, versus lefties, he has their bat number in his back pocket in terms of contact, but against righties, he is struggling, hitting only .201. He's somewhat doing better, 1 more homer, a couple more ribbies, but he's just not able to hit anything, it seems like, against them.
Yeah, sometimes trying to track that ball coming from basically behind your shoulder can be really tricky. And in baseball, when it's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, you only get maybe a quarter to a half a second to react to it.
Yeah, and you see there Hunter Renfroe 8th in the AL with strikeouts, with around mid-130s already this season. He's going to look at strike 1 there, just on the bottom edge of the strike zone on a 4-seamer. McHugh already up to 17 pitches here in the first. Definitely not the best first inning, but at the same time, if he can manage to get out of this, that one's going to be looped up into center field, well hit. But JBJ is going to be under it, and he will catch it for 3 outs. And that's going to be 4 up, 3 down. Nothing on the Adames leadoff double. We're headed to the top of the second. Nothing on that single hit, as I mentioned. Still nothing. Well, here's a king, Xander Bogaerts, of course, Silver Slugger back in just last season in 2019 at the shortstop position. He's hitting .314 so far in the year. He was injured for part of the season, P-Mister. That was a really big miss for the Red Sox as they really slumped in May and early June without him, but they managed to get him back, and he's been looking the same ever since he came back from that injury. We were, of course, worried that he wasn't going to really match up his production levels between the injuries, and it's like it never even happened as he looks at 1-0.
Yeah, some guys are just able to get that mentality where once they're back from the injuries, they want to come back and just start ripping up the field. And Bogaerts and to a lesser extent Benintendi, kind of the younger core of this team that they're hoping to keep for the long term. Obviously, Mookie Betts would be considered in that circle a couple years ago, but we all know how that ended up.
Yeah, and you also can't forget the number 4 batter here, Rafael Devers. He's definitely been one of the bright spots for the Red Sox this season. There's a 2-1 count on Xander Bogaerts. Pitch going in. It's going to be ripped foul down the third base side. It's going to be now a 2-2 count. And it's 2 consecutive strikes here after being up 2-0 in the count. And Glasnow looking to get a second of the game. And he will not, as it's going to be blooped right in front of the catcher. It's a quick throw to first, and they're going to get him by a step. Great reactions by the catcher for the Rays, Austin Romaine. Yeah, Mike Zunino on the bench, but he's usually used for the lefties, and instead they're having Romaine starting here. And here's Rafael Devers. As we mentioned, he's one of the bright spots, but hitting only .266 this season. He was a 5 batter when Xander was healthy. When he was injured, Rafael was moved up to the 4 spot, and he just did not want to do anything in that position. As you see a big shift right now taking place, Brandon Lau basically a second right fielder right now for the Rays.
Yeah, and you're kind of seeing that a lot more as the numbers are starting to get to the managers, and they're putting these really extreme shifts on. So if you're able to develop hitting opposite way and maybe some opposite homers, you can really break that habit, and then you can go back to pulling a little bit.
1-1 count, and he swings and hooks that one foul down the first base side. It's now 1-2 count, and Glasnow with his 20th pitch of the night. It's going to be far outside 2-2. Pitch. Called strike 3, and Devers is not happy about that. Looked outside up top corner. As you're going to see pitch info, it was outside top corner. Very interesting call there by the home plate umpire. We don't know who the umpires are in this game. We have not seen that graphic just yet. And here comes the 6th batter, Mitch Moreland. .259 on the season. Hitting much better than we honestly expected him to here in the 6th spot. He's never been a hitter's type of player. He's obviously known more for just really hitting doubles and also fielding extremely well at first base. Of course, multiple-time Gold Glove winner, as he has a 1-0 count on him now. Pitch coming in, he's going to look at another up high 2-0. That looked like it was actually a strike. Something is definitely up with this ump.
That was definitely probably a make-up call for the strikeout there, as that was definitely a 50-50 ball where it did catch the paint, but just barely.
Well, it's a sudden, quick 3-0 count here. JBJ on deck here. Mitch Moreland. Glasnow is really not wanting to get his second walk of the day so early here in the second. Pitch number quarter to 100 is going to be called ball 4. Wow. What?
Somebody might have gotten to the Jack Daniels early before the game here. That looked like it caught the zone pretty clean, to be honest, but hey, sometimes you just have to live with this. Jackie Bradley Jr. actually swinging a real stick this time is up at the plate.
I am very confused by what I just saw.
Aren't we all? But that's kind of how Red Sox baseball is sometimes. You just have to accept it and move on.
Well, that ump's definitely on the crown because that one's going to be called foul. Just barely, nearly touched the first base bag. It would not have been grabbed by the first baseman. It's a 1-1 count as pitch coming in from Glasnow. It's going to be in the dirt. It's going to get away, but Romaine will quickly get a hold on it. And there was no way that Mitchie Two Bags was moving anywhere close to second base there.
Yeah, he's pretty much staying glued to that bag at this point, especially this early in the game. But Jackie Bradley Jr. with a chance to try to move the runner up here, especially with working with a good count.
Well, check swing. He doesn't go far enough, and it's outside for a 3-1 count. And on deck, Alex Verdugo. You know, he's definitely improved a little bit ever since he was moved to a full-time starting rotation part on the instead of just being on the bench. That one's gonna be another walk. Now 3 walks on the night for Tyler Glasnow, 2 consecutive. And, you know, he only had, 10, 11, 12 pitches in the first inning. He's already now up to 30 pitches here. And he is not happy as he thought that, at least the last batter before Mitchie Two-Bags, that was the strikeout. But here comes Verdugo, somebody that is not known for getting on base that well right now. Only .295 on the on-base percentage.
Yeah, but a chance right here to hopefully get the Sox a lead. That's slapped the other way.
And it will fall fair. It actually is going to be called fair, and it's going to be an RBI ground rule double. And Alex Verdugo manages to get on base in an interesting way. It just barely bounced in fair territory right off the low. What? No, wait a moment. Whoa.
Ooh. Somebody's either on the cronk or the booze, or they're taking a something. I don't know.
Are all the umps on the cronk? Why are okay? The Red Sox are leading 1-0. All right, Twitch viewers. The Red Sox are leading 1-0 in a really weird way. Christian Vasquez up to the plate. We love Christian Vasquez here. This is a PK legend. Shout out PK, gone but not forgotten. It gets away. What is going on? 2-0 now. What is going on?
All right. Looks like the Concord's pulled into town early here as Glasnow's on 22 pitches.
In this inning alone, 14 balls, 8 strikes. It's a 2-0 count on Christian Vasquez. That was going to be ripped. It's going to be caught. A line out to Ji-Man Choi. And the 2-out rally finally ends, but not before the weirdest 2 runs I've ever seen score come in, and Boston is up 2-0. So we had 2 consecutive walks. The first one, this is all with 2 outs by the way, with 2 outs. In 4 batters, we had a walk that was dubiously outside for ball 4, as Ji-Man Choi, as you see, 22 homers career high right now coming up to the plate. We had that happen with Mitchie. And then somehow, some way, no, not really somehow, some way, but the next batter, JBJ, walks on 4 straight pitches. Then Alex Verdugo hits a double down the opposite field, but it looks like it bounced foul before going out as a ground rule double. And then Christian Vasquez lines out to Ji-Man Choi. After a wild pitch, brings in JBJ from third.
And that's how
What is going on?
I don't know. All I know is Ji-Man Choi is batting lefty right now. He is known as a switch hitter nowadays.
That is very true. He is a quality switch hitter. And, after an interesting inning for Tyler Glasnow, I'm hoping that does not change and become an interesting inning for Colin McHugh. As it's a 2-0 count, and it's going to be called strike 1. Ji-Man Choi is definitely a patient hitter. And if he finds a pitch he likes, he can definitely take it yard. But he's staying off for now, but he's going to rip that one foul down over into the third base area. It's now a 2-2 count.
Yeah, Braxton wishing he had a PS4. Don't worry, if you want to join the MLB The Show community, I believe next year it is expanding to Xbox One, either next year or the year after, so you don't have to wait much longer for that.
All I can say is it better, because I am sick and tired of RBI baseball.
So I am 1,000% on board with that.
Count is 3-2.
For those that don't know, RBI baseball is basically MLB's attempt at a rip-off of MLB The Show.
Which is weird, considering the show is a licensed MLB game. 3-2 count, payoff pitch coming in for McHugh. It's going to be ball 4. I believe that's the first walk of the day for McHugh. And, well, on the bright side, there was nothing dubious about that ball 4 this time around.
Yeah, and all those freaking cowbells in the stands. You guys better keep that quiet down there.
Well, here comes Yoshitomo Sasugo. He's definitely been an extremely important part of this Rays lineup now as the DH. And you see the mascot?
I think it's Raymond, technically. I think is his name.
I don't know. But that's called strike 1, as it's in the bottom corner. last 7 games, Susugo has, a couple doubles, couple ribbies. He's definitely producing even when he's in a slump, but that one's going to be foul tipped right into the dirt. It's an 0-2 count early on here. Question is, would you rather go for the double? Would you rather get a double play here or just the straight strikeout? Well, we won't find out as that one skied into right center field. Well hit. Going back is JBJ. And this game is tied. Yoshitomo Susugo ties it out of nowhere. And this has become one of the most interesting innings I have ever seen in the game of bat ball. Of course, we have the weirdness of the top of the second. And now Susugo tying it up within the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the second. It's already an interesting game, and it's only about 50 pitches in right now, Bemis.
I know, and honestly, the clown show's already started up here. Umpire 50-50 calls, and now Suzuki Morrow there with a 2-run shot. Thankfully, didn't hit the right tank, so that way Peter doesn't get on our backside.
Batting 7, the third baseman, Yandy Diaz.
Well, I never like being tied immediately back up, but hey-ho, what can you do? Yandy Diaz, last 5 games, 2 homers and 3 RBIs, and it's a 1-1 count on him. I expected that. Something I've talked about all season long, P-Mister, is, Red Sox pitching has been really good. The problem is that there's always that, 1 or 2, just pitches that are unlucky, just don't break all the time or break way too much and taken way too far out of the ballpark for some to like. So that one's ripped foul down the right field side. He was looking to take the lead there. But, it's definitely been an issue for the Red Sox, not just rotation, but even the bullpen as a whole. It's just been an interesting season. This is going to look at a far outside 2-2.
Yeah, no, that's honestly can be a big issue sometimes, is limiting those clutch those really bad pitches to only 2 or 3 a game.
Well, JBJ will get the fly out there in center field. It's one away here.
The center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier.
Just joining us, here's Kevin Kiermaier, Gold Glove center fielder for the Rays. Not a best hitter in the world, the winner, but, definitely a valuable part of this team. Of course, as I mentioned, Gold Glove winner, he's one of the best defensive outfielders in the MLB, in my opinion, P-Mister, and even hitting right now, he's managed to score 5 times in the last 6 games, so he's definitely doing something right now.
Yeah, sometimes just getting the hit in the right spot to really spark your team going on. But just in case people are paying attention to the IRL situation, the Pirates-Cardinals series coming up early next week is canceled, postponed, whatever you want to call it. MLB's random word salad for that.
Interesting times indeed. That's going to be ripped up. Hop fly just in the far out reaches of the infield. Peraza will get it for out numero dos.
Batting 9.
We're heading to the number, I believe, 9 batter. Yep, indeed. Austin Romaine, 228 on the season, 632 OPS, 10 homers, 39 ribbies. Not the best hitting catcher, but, he's definitely managed to do a lot better than some of the other hitting catchers, especially in terms of the power.
Yeah, definitely. And as a lot of people don't expect much out of the catcher just because they're usually not the best offensive players. They're much more known for their defense and really knocking down those wild pitches to make it manageable.
Very much so. And, you saw in the graphic just a couple seconds ago, he has 4 homers in his last 8 games, so he's definitely heated up a little bit lately. And McHugh definitely knows that. He's trying to dance around him here with the 12 curve. 2-1 count, 2 away. The only reason that this game is tied, much less has runs, is this Susugo homer in the bottom of the second here. Earlier with only nobody out and 1 person on as he swings and misses at strike 2 on the slider. And of course, the extremely weird top of the second. McHugh looking to end this inning with only, that one bleeding moment of the home run. And he will not do that on that pitch. That one's going to be hooked foul down the right field side. You see there, McHugh definitely able to get his strikes in instead of the ball, 16 and 9 in the 25 pitches he had in this inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Beautiful 4-seamer high and tight.
And we're going to take another look at the DeSugo homer into near dead center field, just hooking right a little bit. That's the one that tied the game up here in the bottom of the second. We're headed to the third, 2-2 here in Tampa Bay. Tampa? America? I don't even know where they are anymore. They're somewhere in Florida.
I think technically it's in Clearwater, but it's kind of... No, wait, St. Pete, excuse me.
Whatever.
It's something really stupid. They're basically on their own island in between two major cities on that west coast.
We'll just call them the Rays of... I don't even know anymore.
Exactly.
The Rays baseball team. They're from a place. We just don't know. We're back to the top of the order. Jose Peraza. He's 0 for 1 so far. He's 0 for 0 start. That's technically his first at bat after he had the leadoff walk back in the top of the first. But he is right now already in an 0-2 hole, and he's definitely not looking to end it with strike 3. And he's not going to look at strike 3. He's going to look at a low curve for ball 1. That one's really in the dirt. Ball 2. Tyler Glasnow, you know, I thought he was up to near 50 pitches, actually, after that really weird top of the second, but he's only at 38 right now, and this is number 39. It's going to be very in there. Ooh. Very in there for ball 3. Very interesting. Control problems.
Yeah, if that was Kevin Youkilis, he probably would have won that one, the ribs, and just taken the base.
Yes, Kevin Youkilis, the king of getting on base in the weirdest ways possible.
Yes, or getting the most bruised ribs, however you want to look at it.
Pretty certain Kevin Youkilis, the only reason he wasn't a superstar was because of how many times his ribs were just broken / bruised.
True.
I'm sorry, coach, I can't be a superstar. I keep taking one for the team. And somehow, some way, Jose Peraza manages to work out an 0-2 count and make it a 4-2 walk. Tyler Glasnow just really struggling with the control. His 4th walk of the day so far. And it's only 40 pitches into the top of the third. And here comes Andrew Benintendi, struck out back in the first inning, and he's definitely now looking to repeat it. And I know I'm not looking to see him repeat it. Please don't.
Inside, ball 1.
That one's in there. No, ball 1. Okay.
Yep. Somebody's definitely on... Somebody's definitely on the jack of the cronk or whatever you want to call it.
Well, Glasnow has now 6 strikeouts on Benintendi in the 12 at-bats against him. He's going to swing and miss at strike 1. I don't want him to get number 7 in his career against this team. And it's a 1-1. Ripped up in the left field. And shallow, playable, catchable, and caught by Andy Diaz. It's going to be out number 1 in there.
Now batting.
Yeah, it's a little easy play, though. Although those easy plays, especially in the infield, can be real tricky if they're high pop-ups. Just because of the catwalks hanging around up there.
Very much so. And J.D. Martinez now 0 for 1 as well. He did not have his best first at-bat, but definitely looking to change it. And, yeah, you know, the catwalks here in Tropicana, I don't even know. This stadium, I always think it's Comerica. I always think it's Tropicana, but I believe it's Tropicana. We'll just call it Tropicana.
It is Tropicana. Yes, I just remember it because the orange is in Florida, and Tropicana is really the only common orange juice out there. That
is very true, and base hit in the right field. It's going to land, and quick throw it over to the covering second baseman. Man in scoring position right now for the Red Sox, definitely threatening here with only 1 away in the top of the third, and yeah, you saw the Tropicana over in the corner. You know, Tropicana Field known for those catwalks and also known for instances where you just really can't find the baseball, as that one's going to be in the dirt. Nobody will move. Romain has done a great job of covering those wild pitches for the most part, other than that one that really just wasn't even his fault. It was just Tyler Glasnow really not knowing anywhere near the strike zone.
Yeah, Jay Smith just coming in with the nickname the Trop. That is also something that it goes by, but I feel like only the locals call that. As that one gets away once
Another
again.
wild pitch!
Oh, George!
What is going on?
If I'm the Red Sox, I'm not taking a bat to the plate. I'm just going to stand there and see if you can hit 3 strikes.
Oh, just the entire Red Sox team just does what Barry Bonds should have done in 2004.
And now the catcher's taking a sit in the batter's box? Okay, I guess.
Is the catcher batting now? Does he think it's going to go there? Well, it's a 2-0 count. It's going to be ripped foul. Kids wondering who the bat is because we never even were able to mention it. It's Xander Bogaerts, so for one today. And Tyler Glasnow might have either a bad bruise or a fracture to a broken metacarpal. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, then, to the bullpen, away! As we're going to figure out in a minute here who Tampa's going to throw out next. And probably throw to the Wolves here because they were not expecting this.
I put in the highlights on our Discord server. Glasnow self-immolates on the field, top third, and they're bringing in Jalen Beeks in relief. 33 games, a 3.34 ERA. And managing to do relatively well against righties and lefties, holding both to under 250. And he's been their long reliever for most of the season, of course, 33 games. 64 and 2/3 inning out of all of those with 8 holds. What is this game, man? I am lost. I am lost completely. That was going to be grounded. They're going to throw it at first to get the out, but it is going to be the go-ahead run. Peralta scoring. So no RBI for Bogaerts, I believe. And I believe JD Martinez does move up to third base. And I'm actually, like, confused now.
Exactly. This place has been known to have a lot of freak incidents and moments. This is on a whole different level right now.
I believe, wasn't Tropicana the field where they had like the bees just casually walk into the stadium, basically?
I believe that was. Oh wait, I believe the summer training facility did get hit also, but I think there was also a case where they did have an incident in here with the bees.
Yeah, Tropicana, easily one of the most interesting places out there. Well, it's a 2-0 count, and Jalen Beeks is definitely wanting to get out of this inning. And it's a good thing that it's 2 away, relatively early, only 2 batters right now, and the first one he got out. But, you know, he's not warmed up at all, as you see 3 straight balls. And Romaine's just like, hey, bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Again, use your hand to try to take a hit here. So, in case people haven't noticed, this game's gone off the rails very quickly here, as Devers gets a walk here, and now there's going to be runs on the corner.
I am really just lost for words. This is the top of the third. It's 3-2. From a technical standpoint, PE, if everything went the right way, shouldn't it be 2-0 in favor of the Rays?
If this wasn't a complete and utter clown show, yes. It should be 2-0.
I'm glad we can agree on that. I'm glad we can agree that the Tampa Bay Rays should be leading this game, but somehow, some way, just weird things have come into play, and it's an 0-2 count on Mitch Moreland. I'm so lost right now.
Yeah, I apologize for the both of us folks in Twitch chat, but it's going to take us 2 or 3 innings to try to figure out what the actual hockey fuck is going on right now.
I'm still in the midst of processing what happened the last inning, and now Glasnow's out. We're somehow up again. That's up high as well. That pitch 1-2 now on the count for Mitchie Two Bags. Looking to get out of this inning, and that's going to be launched high and deep into right field. Mitchie Two Bags gets a 4-bagger, and it's suddenly 6-2, in favor of the Red Sox.
What
is going on?
I want to say that one cracked the catwalks down the right field line. I'm not sure, though. But, yeah, you got a hold of that one, and this is just one of those games where every single break in the book is going the Red Sox way right now.
This is just one of the weirdest games I have ever called in the history of ML Botball.
Going a pesky pole bend with that one, just sneaking it behind the pole there.
Up next for the Red Sox, the center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Okay, so now that we're hopefully back to semi-normal baseball, top of the
now
third,
that we're trying to chill out.
Exactly. Jackie Bradley Jr. probably going to strike out here, knowing his numbers from last year. Although he seems to be doing a little bit better this year.
Well, he did walk back in the top of the second. Granted, it was right after the interesting walk on Mitchie Two Bags, but it's an 0-2 count. And if it's 3 straight strikes, I'm going to feel sorry. But that's actually going to be ripped up into left field. Meadows is under it and will catch it for 3 outs. And what an interesting top of the third. Capitalized by Mitchie Two Bags hitting a homer.
Yeah, well,
I'm losing my mind. I'm actually like losing my mind. Heidi Watney definitely talking about it. We don't know though, because unfortunately, we kind of forgot to put batteries in during all of the situations going on.
Yeah, we've had about 15 different issues, whether it be umpires on the stuff, 50-50 homers, pitchers getting injured. So there's been a lot of scrambling to try to find stuff. But we are seeing the Rays hitting stats about bang average, if not slightly below average for the entire league.
Shortstop, Willie Adames.
Well, Willie Adames hit that leadoff double back in the bottom of the first, and he's here to lead off the bottom of the third. And as I just said in Twitch chat, you know, this is definitely one of the best and one of the weirdest games I have ever called in the history of ML Ball.
And I'm a little happy.
And then 3 straight strikes. What is going on?
Well, folks, we're rolling out all the stops as far as what could go wrong here today.
The only thing that would make this entire game even better is if somehow, some way, there's like a hidden Easter egg that just randomly plays. We're just pinch hitting, like, for some random person. That one's be skied high and deep into center field, but it will be caught by JBJ for out number 2. So I'm saying the only thing that would make this game any more interesting is if, like, we just randomly heard glass shattering and Stone Cold Steve Austin comes and bats in the number 9 spot.
I mean, there is a glass shattering sound effect for a home run, so you could kind of put in your own Stone Cold Steve Austin music if you wanted.
Stone Cold, the Texas Rattlesnake, making his MLB debut for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, no, he'd do it for the Astros, let's be honest here.
He would do it for the Astros. He wouldn't even bang the trash can. He would just give the baseball itself a stunner and hit it out of the park.
Oh, yeah, easy.
It's a 1-0 count now. Austin Meadows looks at 2-0 now. McHugh 34 strikes and 16 balls on his first 50 pitches.
Since you brought up Stone Cold coming into baseball, what wrestler do you think could be a good replacement on the Red Sox?
Well, that's going to be skied in the right field, caught by Verdugo for 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down. For the Red Sox specifically, I feel like a guy that would actually be really understandable as part of the team would be like John Cena. I'd say probably have him hit as like a DH.
Yeah,
but maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe like right or center field. Heidi Watney, we forgot your batteries again. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's definitely something that would be interesting because he definitely has a cannon of an arm. So,
no doubt.
Like if you are told by other people, like if you were like told that Big Show, Kane, and Mark Henry through the strongest wrestlers in WWE history are like, yeah, that guy's really strong. He can lift me up and I can order a pizza. Yeah, you're a pretty strong person, John Cena. You could definitely throw out a guy running to third from right field.
Yeah, definitely played Division III college football, actually.
Yeah, well, 0-1 count on Alex Verdugo. He had the weirdest ground rule double I think I have ever seen since the last time I saw a weird ground rule double, which was the Vasquez one in the great comeback against the Orioles I called with Sheamus a couple weeks back. Shout out Sheamus. Not the wrestler, unfortunately. I would have loved to call it anything with that Sheamus.
Yeah.
I would have also told him, hey, let's get a petition started to bring back your old theme.
I mean, they did bring that back.
No way they did. I haven't watched WWE in too long. Well, that's blooped into center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. This is still one of the... This is just continuing the weird oddities. A little blooper definitely could have been caught, but you know, hey-ho, Verdugo.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think they just brought it back like last week or something.
Alex Verdugo looks like a West Coast Husky Harris.
Oh.
I could 1,000% see that. And for all those who don't know, Husky Harris, that's Bray Wyatt's character before he became Bray Wyatt.
Back when he was on what the next? I don't even know. Nexus. I don't know anymore. 1-1 down on Christian Vasquez.
Yeah, it was the NXT reality show back before NXT was an actual separate brand.
That was weird when it first started up. Skied into left field. Christian Vasquez sends himself and Husky Harris home with a 2-run shot, and it's 8-2. And the weird oddity that is this ML ball game is continuing here in the top of the fourth.
Oh Lord, here we go. This is a game, and that was just another shot. And the Husky Harris lookalike and Christian Vasquez just belting one out to left center.
Your attention, please.
And that's going to be it as the next pitcher, Teheran Walker, who's normally the long relief guy, is coming in to try to salvage something here.
Well, the former starter, before being traded to the Rays, he's for Seattle, I believe. He is the long reliever, and Cash is just saying, "Hey, buddy, listen, this is bad, man. Can you stop it, please?" Here comes Jose Peralta. He has had 2 at-bats so far. Both of them aren't even actual at-bats because both of them ended in walks. So this is his first official at-bat, potentially, as he looks at strike 1.
Someone's paying Brother Beard right now, being the former Seattle Mariner there, saying, yeah, your buddy's coming in for relief, but he's basically getting an extra start because of the situation they're in.
Really quickly in the Twitch chat, Axon Braxton a little while back said Stone Cold would stunner the pitcher if he got struck out, and that is very true.
Yeah, very
I want to
true.
see him. I want to see him against who is it? Amir Garrett. That would be so good.
That would be I'd pay to see that.
I would pay to see Amir Garrett versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 37.
No. Oh, who is it? Second baseman for the Rangers that gave Bautista the match.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 for Peraza. That's his first official at-bat, and it's a strikeout. And here's a guy who has 3 official at-bats now, potentially Andrew Benintendi. Yeah, Odor versus Stone Cold would be a good one.
Oh, Odor versus anyone in the WWE, I feel like would be a pretty good match.
That is very true, and Teheran Walker, his hair magically disappears every time he puts on the baseball cap. You see, Teheran Walker's hat is actually the portal to Narnia that we have all been searching for. It's a 1-0 count. It's going to be looped foul, left field side.
So, as a member of the Rays PR staff, I just have to say, if you want to go to Narnia, please, for the love of God, come to our games, because we need all the attendance we can get right now.
The count is 1.
Well, I just randomly got somehow gifted a tier 1 sub from Shark Shavery, so shout out Shark.
Attaboy, Shark, yay!
Check in the Twitch chat, I just see you received a gift sub from Shark Shavery.
Shark, hey, hoo-ha-ha.
Oh.
I got the count 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have a sub. That is very true.
Yep.
Blooped.
Whoa!
The shift gets the liner. This game, man. This game.
The designated hitter.
This game is off the cronk right now. It's off a bean, bro.
Exactly. This is...
Benintendi has a pop out, a fly out, and a line out.
Yes. Ooh, Braxton coming in with an idea. Odor Batista rematch at Mania. That I would absolutely pay to see, because those two still don't like each other, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Shark is apparently working on a stretch for the ages.
Oh, boy.
All I gotta say is that a few weeks back, for this one especially, for a few weeks back, I think it was me and I believe it was Hines. We were talking about the potential of a Monty Python and the Holy Grail 7th inning stretch.
Oh my god. That would just be the perfect sum up to this whole game right now, is the guy clocking the coconuts for the horses. Because this has just been utter clown show right now. So that's going to be a walk.
That's not a horse, he's just banging coconuts.
The batter, number 2.
Cash is already out to talk to Walker. Why? He's 14 pitches in. He gave up a 1 walk, and you're like, hey, stop it. It is not a Monty Python stretch, unfortunately, apparently. He's trying to figure that out still. It is apparently my fast stretch inspiring him. And here comes Xander Bogaerts, 0 for 2 on the day so far. Of all people to be 0 for 2, as that one's near his elbow for ball 1. Oliver Drake right now warming up the bullpen, one of the other long-term relievers for the Rays.
Yeah, and looks like MLB IRL has botched a no-hitter potentially in the Arizona-San Diego game IRL. So thank you, MLB, for jinxing that.
Well, Oliver Drake is actually one of the middle relief pitchers alongside Jose Alvarado and Tyson Walker and Chaz Rowe. But this is still easily one of the weirdest games I have ever seen. And we are heading to the bottom of the 4th after that. 3-out situation. Hunter Renfroe flied out back in the first inning. Since then, it's been relatively quiet for him. He hasn't had to do much. And I'm running out of things to, like, just say, hey, this is a thing that happened.
Exactly. This is a little
like
crazy.
I said, the only thing that could really make this thing any better is just Stone Cold coming out.
In the outfield.
Nah, no, just a random blizzard and like collapsing like the Superdome back in Minnesota.
Oh god, that'd be dangerous, but
The roof just came off the building, by God!
yeah, definitely. And Shark worrying about messing up the stretch. Honestly, Shark, anything you do is more succinct and coherent than this game so far. So don't worry about it, buddy.
It's a 1-2 count on Hunter Renfroe. McHugh's 55th pitch of the day. It's going to be called strike 3. Colin McHugh wheeling and dealing with 4 strikeouts so far this game. I am.
Oh,
what?
Whoa.
Why? What is going on?
Your attention, please.
Oh, it's okay then.
Martin Perez just coming on in out of nowhere.
I guess
I'm not even prepared to talk about him. This is his 100th inning, I guess. 4.91 ERA, decent strikeout walk ratio. I'm losing my mind. G-Man Choi walked back in the second. He was the run brought home.
Hey, the switch finally, so he's batting right this time. He's and he throws it. Oh.
I hate this. What is going on out at left field? This is the greatest game of all time, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th.
Hey, it's not weird. He just became a switch hitter like 2 weeks ago. Still getting used to it.
And yeah, Jay Smith Streams Live perfectly encapsulates me right now. It's just, attaboy McHugh, wait, what? What is going on?
In general, what is going on?
Oh, Sasugo, he was 0 for 1 in the last game. He's not 0 for 1 here. He had the 2-run homer that tied the game. But that feels like 8 hours ago. This has been, It's been less than 2 innings. It's been only 2 innings since it was a 2-2 ball game. And like, everything that could have happened has happened since.
Yes, and ARG Ian is coming in with the perfect comment. This game just went rogue. Ooh, that's a check swing. Not gonna go.
3-1. Sasugo walking to the plate. It's like Rick Grimes in like the series series debut of Walking Dead. He just walks out. He's like, "What is going on? What have I walked into?" As that's grounded out to Mitchie 2 bags. So 3 up, 3 down. Devers Moreland and JBJ are leading off the top of the 5th. It is still 8-2.
Off 5 hits.
Off 5 hits, by the way. I feel like we should mention that.
Yeah,
the Red Sox have more hits than more runs than they have hits. Somehow, some way.
Yes, and the Rays I think are on similar paces. They have 2 hits for 2 runs. So teams definitely using their runners efficiently here.
Well, that one's screaming over in the left field foul territory. Devers last 3 games hitting .375. However, it's only 3 for 8. So, he was hitting .375 throughout the whole season. Now it'd be more like, hey. But he swings about 20 minutes early for that pitch, and it's going to be 0-2. And if he swung at that, I would have actually been asking what is going on with this game even more. It's outside 1-2.
Yep. And that screaming down the third baseline is why they moved the Ray touch tank out to center, because apparently PETA was a bit too worried about foul balls in the tank. Even though baseballs technically float, I guess.
1-2 count, fouled again, and Action Braxton asks in the chat, "What's more strange, this or Elon Musk's kid's name?" I don't know, man. Elon Musk's kid it feels more normal now, especially since I recently learned it's basically just wingdings on crack.
Yeah, basically, I think it's a semi-normal name, but they spelt it in the exact opposite way you'd spell it. That's a
and he hits against the shift. That's an easy double, light work.
Or
no,
whoa, a lot closer than I would have thought there.
Nah. This game's already gone completely. Devers with his 33rd of the season. He's 11 ahead of Mitch Moreland. I feel like mentioning that. He's got 150% more than Moreland.
So
not 150, 50% more. Sorry, but
do we call Rafael Devers Rafi Two Bags now instead of Mitch Moreland?
I don't know, because Mitch Moreland right now with that 3-run 4-bagger that started launching this game even further into insanity. Check swing. It was in there anyway for an 0-1 count. As I mentioned, he had that 3-run homer in the third that was just literally out of nowhere. If you're wondering why we're so confused, Twitch chat, it's because we're still struggling to fully comprehend what happened 2 innings ago. I'm still struggling to realize that they have gone through 2 more pitchers after Glasnow randomly got injured with a broken something.
Yeah, it looked like he
Swing and a miss, strike
out.
3. Moreland does not repeat the success he had last time up. And here comes JBJ. He was the first run, I believe. No, second run of the game for the Red Sox. He was brought home on, I believe, the first of 3 wild pitches. That was going to be skied. It will be caught for out number 2. Quick throw over to the cutoff at short. No tag-up will be made.
The right fielder, number 91.
And
Alex.
Hey, at least this inning's finally going relatively normal. And just like that, it's probably going to go completely off everything.
Off the rail.
2 for 2 on the day so far. He has a double and a single. He's halfway to the cycle. And
I'm
watch
just
him
trying
hit
to
the cycle.
Exactly.
Nope,
I'm just trying to figure out. If SDS actually coded catwalk collision physics into the Rays Stadium here, because I've seen a lot of high fly balls, but nothing's really ricocheted off there yet.
Well, it's a 1-1 count, and I feel like something that would be really funny is that one's gonna be 2-1 after that up high cutter. If the MLB for All-Star Weekend or something used baseballs that track the speed and the power of the hit, and just one baseball after being hit by Giancarlo just comes down and you just read it and it says "ow" instead of miles per hour or something, just "ow."
Exactly. If it goes above
Father, I can't feel my legs.
It'd be 115 mile per hour bat speed leaving off or above it, just ow.
Well, that one's gonna be thrown far left field, but it's gonna hook foul.
Not gonna get
Full
the break from
count,
the umpire.
away. Man on second. Payoff pitch. Swung and fouled right over near the first base dugout. Still a full count. And that one's going to be flown in the left field. It will be playable, catchable, and caught for out number 3. So finally, the Rays don't have to worry about the absolute weirdness that is this game. Boston gets 1 more hit closer to their run production with only 6 now compared to 5 before. It is still 8-2 going to the bottom of the 5th. And it looks like we're going to get another quick chat with Heidi Watney in the Rays Rays dugout. Unfortunately, the Rays are right now screaming and self-immolating, so we cannot hear her, unfortunately. We did bring her batteries, but she is being drowned out by the utter confusion and scared noises that are being produced by the Rays players right now.
Yes, you might want to hide the bat rack from Kevin Cash because he might take out a water jug or two in his pure frustration as Ryan Brazier's up in the Sox bullpen already. Martin Perez is
thrown 6 pitches.
and you have a guy up in the pen. What the actual hockey puck is going on? If you have a 6-run lead, let the guy work a little bit.
They mentioned that Martin Perez is our long relief pitcher, and you already have Brazier warming up in the bullpen. Why?
I don't. Just
I will say, I have come to the conclusion very early on in this ball season that Ron Renneke just does stupid stuff. What a grab by Devers. Oh my goodness me. Moreland knows it. We all know it. Holy gamoly. Way to stop a base hit from existing.
the only person that hates that's the clubhouse manager after the fact, because that means extra laundry for him.
Well, as I was saying, I just come to the conclusion Ron Renneke, AI-wise, is just doing stupid things, and we just have to accept it. And
I mean, to a lesser extent, that's kind of what he's done in real life. If people remember, he was the manager out in Milwaukee prior to Christian Yelich getting there, I believe.
I don't even know what Ron Renneke was doing before, but whatever it was probably bad at it, because that one's going to be fouled. It's a 1-1 count on Kevin Kiermaier, popped out back in the second inning.
He basically brought the Brewers from complete mediocrity to about 500 ball, so he has some acumen, but not really the guy you want to be taking the team to the playoffs.
Well, right now, the Twitch chat is ever so excited that we finally had a normal inning as Peraza grabs that grounder, quick throw over to first, and they're going to get him for out number 2. And I swear, if Ryan Brazier comes in over in the bottom of the 6th, I'm going to be very annoyed because Martin Perez is at 12 pitches right now. He's managing to keep this Rays lineup from doing anything.
Yep. And Jay Smith, Stream Live, is coming in with the right one on that Devers dive as the Sports Center top 10 plays, which will be on after this game, I would think, or after our broadcast today.
I don't know. I mean, probably just go to actual Sports Center and they'll probably just show marble races once again.
Yeah, marble races are that stupid.
Hey, shout out that Dutch dude that did those marble races. Those were awesome.
A great way to kill some time when there was absolutely nothing on TV.
I was genuinely invested in the career of that light blue marble. Too bad he got caught doing the worst thing he possibly could have done, and that is unironically playing Superman N64. 0-1 count on Christian Vasquez after the 2-run shot made it 8-2 in what is obviously the best and weirdest game in the history of ML Bot Ball. That was going to be flown over into the first base dugout, actually hitting the stairs.
Yeah, this is weirdest game in Bot Ball history. Maybe the weirdest game in Tropicana Field history.
Well, it's going to be a quick grounder. Mi-Man Choi fumbles it for a quick second, but takes it to the bag himself.
Batter number 3.
And that's one away, and that is, I believe, 7 straight outs for both teams combined, and that is the longest stretch without a single doubt in my mind.
Of just everything going to semi-plan?
For now. But Tyson Walker up to near 40 pitches. Of course, Jose Peraza back up. He's 0-1 right now. 0-for-1 both in the count and in the order right now as he swings and misses at strike 2. He had the walk back in the first and back in the third inning. And he's back up now, trying to do something here by not striking out, but he's going to sky that right field bleacher area. It's going to be foul. Another 0-2. And another foul down the first base side. Yet another 0-2. Not a foul down the first base side, but a quick grounder. Brandon Lau gets it. Quick throw to G-Man Choi, and that's 8 straight retired batters between both teams. And finally, some normalcy here for this game, P-Mister, after 4 innings of, huh?
What? Yep.
Well, I guess I got to start beefing with Jay Smith because he likes Superman 64. Don't diss it.
Whoa,
I will.
Whoa. That
WrestleMania 37 main event. Me versus Jay Smith in a match of Superman 64 right now. Book it, Vince.
I think the only thing you guys wouldn't finish the game. It's a matter of if the N64 cartridge would explode.
Stone Cold comes out and stuns the actual cartridge.
Yes, but Superman 64 is widely considered.
Let's skide into right field. Is that out of here? No, it's caught for 3 outs. Oh no, Benny, no, Benny. I thought we had a Benny bomb.
Oh, well, better luck next time, man. Braxton, yes, I am on duty for the next game between Toronto and Houston. So hopefully there's not too many trash can shenanigans there.
Hopefully there's just not as many weirdness that is going on right now.
Oh, it's the Toronto-Houston game. There's going to be weirdness. It's just, I hope there's a bit less than there was in this game.
Well, here's Willie Adames. He was responsible for half of the offense the Rays have produced, and that was back in the bottom of the first with a leadoff double. And other than that homer, quite literally nothing has happened with this team. In the bottom of the sixth, he is backing away from that one. And thankfully, Ron Renicky AI version did not do something stupid, and he is keeping Martin Perez in for his 15th pitch of the game.
And Jay Smith is coming in with the right quote there. You're next, big boy.
Calm down, Goldberg.
Oh,
Why did they bring back Goldberg? Why? Why did they bring him back for, like, what, the 18th time, it feels like?
90s nostalgia. And no, it was only like the third time. Prior to his 2016 run, he hadn't been in WWE for like 2 decades.
Yeah, because he was there briefly for 2003 to 2004, because he was there until WrestleMania 20.
Right.
And then he came back, fought Lesnar a couple times, made Lesnar look like a jobber for one, won the Universal title or something, gave it to Lesnar because he lost, and then did the exact same thing with Bray Wyatt, and then it was going to be Roman, now it's Braun Strowman.
Right.
But I will say, one of the greatest all-time moments in WWE history for me is him and his debut against The Rock, just like, "Hey, Rock, you want to know who's next? You're next!" And then immediately spears him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Goldberg should have won that Elimination Chamber match where he speared Chris Jericho into the pod. He should have won that match.
Yeah.
You can fight me on that. We drop third strike in the dirt. Adames tries to get to first, but it's a quick throw by Vasquez. They got him for out number 1.
All I have to say is Vinnie Mac's going to be in some serious hot water soon if he can't get his product together, because not sure if anyone pays attention to AEW that's on TNT, but they're really starting to build some good programs over there.
Well, they did just, who did they just pick up? I know they just picked somebody from that used to be part of WWE.
They did pick up the Revival, which is a tag team.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking about.
No, not Zack Ryder, I think. Or formerly
No,
known as
Zack Ryder's there. Zack Ryder is there.
Is there? Okay.
That was the guy I was thinking of. Because I know Heath Slater, one of the greatest WWE jobbers of all time, is over at Impact now. And he's going to go win their world championship, come back to WWE, and then get massively pushed and win his championship. That one skied right center field, well hit. JB Day is under it and will catch it for out number 3 or number 2? Number 2.
Right fielder, Austin Meadows.
And here we are, watching the weirdest game in Bob Ball history, talking about Chris Jericho getting speared through a pod by Bill Goldberg and whether or not Heath Slater is a jobber.
I mean, he's what I call a half jobber. He's such a good jobber that he can be his own star.
0-1's the count.
Well, it's an 0-1 count, now 1-1 on Austin Meadows. He's 0-2 on the day so far. He's been quiet. And Jay Smith says in the chat his first ever WWE match he watched was Goldberg versus Lesnar in 2016. And everybody's like, no way Lesnar loses. And Goldberg won within 5 minutes based on the storyline, not even knowing that usually doesn't happen in wrestling matches.
I remember, trust me, I was in that same boat. Me and a couple of my buddies were watching. Everybody else is picking Lesnar. I'm like, Goldberg's picking this up in 2 minutes. And I think it was 1:32 was the official time of the match.
Let me check, actually, because I actually want to see this. 2016, I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, they ran with the big stat of how long that match took, because that's just going to be a fly out to left for the third out here. And the 6th inning goes relatively quietly here. No real shenanigans or anything. Still 8-2 Boston.
And yes, indeed, it was 1:26 for because Lesnar picked him up, put him in the corner, and then immediately got shoved down. He was like, "What?"
Spear, jackhammer. That was the 3 moves he used.
Well, here's Oliver Drake, 51 games, 13 holds. He's not going to get a hold here, obviously, because they're losing by a fair bit. And here comes JD Martinez, 1 for 2 with a single and a run, and Jose Alvarado with the bullpen. And we are joined in the booth by the man they call Shark Shavery. Shark, what is this game, man? Please help us. Please help us, unconfuse this.
I can't. It's been out in the background while I've been practicing. I was just practicing, and then I saw everything go out the window, so I decided I'm going to start seeing how fast I can play the stretch comfortably, and then it evolved into how fast can my fingers possibly move. So I put a timer on, and I could play it poorly in about 15 seconds. Inspired by your 10-second stretch, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it for 15 seconds.
We can do both. We can do both.
I'm going to see if it works. I don't think it will. I played it right none of the times. But I'm still going to try to push through.
Well, knowing how this game has gone so far, we probably
It's
have about
fitting.
20 minutes before you're able to actually do it.
Not
2-0
to
count on
mention
JD Martinez is going to be low.
Ooh.
First 3 pitches by Oliver Drake is all balls. And Xander Bogaerts on deck. Yeah, this is Oliver Drake being thrown right into the fire in the worst possible situation.
Yeah, no, this game has been a utter clown show, I think. 'Cause that one's going to be a strike, and I'm surprised Martinez didn't try teeing that one up. That one was practically down the middle.
Circumstances of the runs aside, would you have at all pictured that Boston would be up at 8-2 at any point of this game coming in?
Oh, heck no. I was expecting a 3-2 game all the way. This
Honestly,
is
yeah.
a little bit
Swing and a
chaotic.
miss on what would have been ball 4. It's now a full count just like that. And JD, I swear. Please don't. I feel like mentioning, I just saw that in the background, he is 1 for 6 in stolen base attempts this season, which makes me really wonder, JD Martinez goes for stolen bases? Swing and a miss, strike 3. JD, you're getting traded to the New York Mets for bag of peanuts and the actual, all the money that they still have somehow left over. Oh, and Noah Syndergaard's left arm, whichever one isn't destroyed.
And season tickets to the Yankees.
At least we aren't the Knicks.
Exactly.
Here's Xander Bogaerts. Yeah, this power part of the lineup has been relatively quiet against all odds after everything that else has been going on. Of course, Bogaerts himself is 0 for 3 on the day. It's 1 away here, 0-1 count after that foul. And, we're coming in this game, P-Mister. You're talking about, Rays really need to get this win under the bag just to, stay in the wild card hunt. Not just outside, but exactly where they need to be, especially with the White Sox faltering a lot. This is a very important time where their struggles can be the Rays' establishment of their dominance in the wild card position.
Well, forget all those ideas.
Yeah, this might be a big old setback. 0-2 count. Is that going to be skied in the left?
bullpen.
Right, sorry. Is going to nearly hit one of the bullpen arms, and I would not have been surprised if we saw an injury report. Hey, so this guy got beamed in the head by Xander Bogaerts' foul ball. We got to go do something.
Yes.
Another 0-2 count. It's going to be swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 straight strikeouts for Oliver Drake. JD Martinez, just don't swing, you idiot.
Now back, third base.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. And Xander, but then again, Run Rankings Pro is giving him free will to swing it whatever you want since they're up 6 here in the top of the 7th.
Well, here's Rafi Devers. He has the double. He obviously now has 33 doubles. He also has a run. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He had the extremely weird walk back in the 2nd inning, and that just kick-started everything going even more weird a mode. It's an 0-1 count. Oliver Drake taking one of the more interesting yet effective stances is he's going to swing and miss of strike 2. And are we about to see 9 straight strikes? Not an immaculate inning because of the 3-0 count earlier, but 9 straight strikes from Oliver Drake?
I'd love to see it.
I mean, knowing this game, probably low and inside is going to be my call.
I got the count.
Well, we will not see it. It is a 1-2 count now.
I got the inside part right, at least.
Yeah, you're half correct, but that's only 50% correct, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, sometimes in baseball, especially 50% is pretty dang good.
Well, that's going to be a grounder into the shift. Lau rushes to get it. Throw to first, and they got him. Shark, you have first option. You can take it away whenever you feel ready to.
All right.
Very nicely done.
You were good for the first half.
Very
You got us in the first half, not going to lie. But then the wheels just came off.
I think. Oh God, really? Man.
I think you repeated the last part.
I record my stuff to listen back to figure out what I messed up, and I apparently never stopped recording I never stopped listening back, and it looped back and started playing a recording I forgot to delete. That is beautifully stupid. Right. Oh my God. I love it.
Well, I can get my 10 seconds done as it's a 1-2 count on Hunter Renfroe. Take me to the ball game. Take me to the crowd. I'm Mr. Cracker Jack. I don't care if Liberty back first. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Wait, Red Sox. 1, 2, 3. The old ball game. Let's give a quick shout out to the most important Intercontinental champion of all time, Sami Zayn, before it got taken away.
Sure.
Oh my God. I do so many times when I listen back to stuff, I just don't hit stop on my stupid program I use. I'm just glad that timing worked out so beautifully. So it didn't interrupt a call, but interrupted me when I was already messing up terribly. Oh my God.
Well, somehow Hunter Renfroe has not gotten out. And as I say that, it's blooped right to third base. And quick throw by Devers to first, and they're going to get him for out number 1. We did all that, and he did not get out.
Shame. Bad broadcasting curse.
Come on, Hunter. You're supposed to get out sooner than that. Here comes G-Man Choi. He's one of the 2 runs that scored because he walked back in the second inning. And then some guy named Yoshigo Tatsumo casually hit a homer in dead center field. That was going to be called strike 1. Martin Perez in his 3rd inning of work after randomly out of nowhere, McHugh was just like, I'm going to head out. Another grounder. Devers another throw to first. This one's even easier for out number 2.
Yeah, a little easier. G-Man Choi, a little bit more known for power, and you can tell by the build of his body that he is definitely a power hitter.
Well, that wasn't really powerful, but here's a guy who has some power. Yoshitomo Sasugo. He hit the 2-run shot, of course, as I previously mentioned 8 times now, because that's the only thing the Rays have done this entire game. Back in the bottom of the second when this game seemed, less crazy and weird, and it was only 2-2, and the only thing of note was a weird walk and a weird ground rule double. Oh, and a wild pitch.
Yep.
But I mean, hey, now it's 8-2, and we've had even weirder stuff going on. 2-0 count.
Oh my God. This game.
This game, absolutely
delightfully insane. Everything about this game is cursed. I'm
genuinely questioning what happened between last game and this game, because the last game it was relatively quiet. The Justin Smoke really actually set fire to this league.
Yeah, and I'm just worried for my next game afterwards because I got Toronto Astros, and there's either going to be a lot of trash can banging or there's just going to be a bunch of clown shows. I don't know what.
I'll have to try the speed stretch again one of these games today and not have that happen. I'll probably have to record myself playing it so you can see how insane I look.
That one right back to Perez. Goodness me.
Thank you.
Good reactions to get it over to first for 3 outs. Another 3 up, 3 down. This is turning into a bit more of a quiet game, but that does not take away the weirdness that was the first half here. And we're headed to the top of the 8th, still 8-2 with Moreland, JBJ, and Verdugo up next.
And I'll let you two get back to it. I need to gather myself after everything and prepare for later and see if this game can devolve into even more madness. So thanks for having me. Have a great rest of your call, you two.
All right, have a good day, Shark. See you around. Top of the 8th. We are 2 innings away from ending arguably the greatest game in Bop-Ball history, P-Mister. And things are seemingly starting to slow down a little bit and being more calm.
No, this is no doubt the greatest game in Bop-Ball history. if anything, just for shenanigans. And Braxton is 100% right. Free Joe Kelly after the.
Yes, free Joe Kelly. He is right. No, he is right. All right, listen. I am the biggest Joe Kelly fan in bot ball. All right, I am the biggest Joe Kelly fan. He is GOAT status in my opinion. Free that man. He did nothing wrong. He did what every single human being that plays baseball would do. Skied over to right field, easy out, over for out number 1. Ugh.
Now batting.
But yes, free Joe Kelly. And there's the starter comparison.
It's quote unquote starters.
5 innings! 5 innings combined between them. Why? Like,
Ron Renick's has nothing up in the head to start with, so he took McHugh out after 3 innings of fairly solid baseball.
Like, is McHugh injured? Because we didn't see anything. Glasnow, we saw something saying, oh yeah, he might be dead.
Or just his hands destroyed.
He literally self-immolated on the field, basically. Like...
More or less, yeah.
We are so exceedingly lost right now in, not translation, but just wondering what is going on. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on JBJ, 0 for 2 on the night.
Well, that's one thing that's been consistent all day. Jackie Bradley Jr. doing absolutely nothing at the plate.
Yeah, and something I forgot to mention earlier, right before the game, was Lorenzo Cain giving up that triple. Is that one's actually going to be a base hit in the gap? Potentially, yes, it will be. So broadcaster curse works in the right way, in reverse. That's going to be the first hit of the game for JBJ. But as I was mentioning, Lorenzo Cain with that diving catch miss that gave Schwarber the triple in the last game. Very reminiscent of Jason Hayward, doing a nice little somersault and giving up an inside-the-park home run.
Yeah, and I'm just getting word across the wire here. Apparently there was a legit brawl in the Athletics-Astros game today at IRL, so apparently the whole league's going to start taking notice, and when they get the Astros in town, they're going to take a piece of their mind, I guess.
Manfred is going to suspend the entire athletics organization for 20 games, calling it.
Exactly.
Like 20 current games, which would be reminiscent of like 60 games in real life. Base hit in the right field once again, and just like that, there's a runner in scoring position, another threat here for the Red Sox. And I believe that is Verdugo who did the base hit, and here comes our king, Christian Vasquez, hit the 2-run homer in the 4th inning that made it 8-2. Where literally nothing has happened since, it feels like, but that one's going to be fouled down the first base side for strike 1.
Yeah, in case people think this stuff's a bunch of clown shows, apparently IRL in the Padres game, they had 6 back-to-back homers in the same game, so that's, I think that's got to be pretty close to a record there.
Very much so. 0-1 count. Nope. Low outside 1-1, and the attendance is 17,416 here in Tampa Bay, and they are very confused. And we just received word as well in real life that Baltimore and Washington has been suspended in real life. Why, I do not know, but it looks like they have been suspended for now. It's 2-1 count on Christian Vasquez. Potential quick pitch that makes a difference will not actually happen. It's a 3-1 count now. And an important pitch from Oliver Drake coming in. Questions rising on why he's still here. If he's going to get this walk, and the bases are loaded with 1 away. Oliver Drake now with 27 pitches, and I feel like this is the point where they bring somebody in, as we're at the top of the order. Jose Peralta, 0 for 2, with 2 walks so far today. And they are keeping Oliver Drake in.
Yep, just at this point for your Tampa Bay, you're just trying to get as much as you can out of the bullpen to save arms, fight for another day. And just a correction on the thing earlier, it wasn't 6 straight home runs, it was just 6 home runs for the 6 scoring points for San Diego so far, so... I blame Mo on that one.
It's all right. Mo had a miscommunication. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Most home runs in a row is like 4, I believe, still. It's an 0-1 count, by the way, on Jose Peraza. It's going to be now a 1-1 count as Oliver Drake is really losing the plot here. And you see here, of course, on deck is Benintendi. If Benintendi hits a Benny Bomb Grand Slam, I am done with this game. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep, door's right over there. be on the way out if that's the case.
That's ball 2.
Now a 2-1 count after that splitter goes somewhere that isn't the strike zone. 30 pitches now for Oliver Drake. I'm still confused as to why they decided let's not bring somebody in and just end this 8th inning, hopefully, and at least end the 9th relatively quietly. But nope, bases loaded. 2-1 count.
Yep, and it looks like the knuckle duster in Oakland, Houston, whatever is confirmed from another source, so that should be a fun highlight to watch after the games today.
Well, it's a 3-1 count now. Let's see if Peraza has a green light to swing, or if he's going to see if Drake leans off. And he does swing at it. It looked like it was going to go out for ball 4, sorry. But it's a full count now. 1 away, bases loaded. Payoff pitch is coming in. My phone is screaming probably from the fight, and it's going to be another foul. And yes, my phone is currently screaming because they are right now talking about the fight. And apparently they just played No Scrubs over the loudspeakers in Oakland when Andre Scrub came on to pitch for the Astros.
Oh, good lord. I think that's a Cowboy baseball
love
too.
the A's.
Yes.
Full count once again. Payoff pitch. Check swing. They're saying he did not go. It's going to be ball 4. And he walks in a run, and here comes Benintendi with the bases loaded, 1 away. Are they keeping Oliver Drake in? Are they keeping Oliver Drake in?
No.
Please, do not tell me they're keeping Oliver Drake.
Your attention, please.
No,
Okay,
thank you.
good. I was about to actually lose the plot. Chazro coming in. One of the most effective relief pitchers right now for the Rays bullpen. 1.54 ERA, holding both righties and lefties to under 210. 7 holds, a 46-20 strikeout to walk ratio, and 41 innings of work. So he's definitely the guy that'll really just tell them, hey, it's shut down.
Yep, and it seems like the start of the A's Astros brawl is Ramon Laredo getting plunked for the 2nd time on the day, and Laredo not exactly kindly to that.
I wouldn't either.
Ball 1.
That's high and outside, ball 1.
Counts 1-0.
You see this crowd, I'm pretty certain I'm seeing people starting to leave. They know what's going on. They're out. I'm a head out type situation.
Yeah, no, this game is 1,000% over.
Well, it's a grounder. That's going to be a potential routine double play, but he bobbles it. Throw to second, they're going to get him, and throw to first, it's safe. So it's 10-2 on the broken up double play. It's going to be called an error, I believe.
I want
No, it's going to be called a regular single, just out at second. And the benches have indeed cleared at the Astros game officially.
Yep.
And they're actually fighting, too. Wow, okay. And
the social distancing. Get the hand sanitizer bombs out.
I'm sorry, my stream froze for a sec, too. Odd situation. J.D. Martinez, 1 for 3. Everything is just going on in real life and off screen. As it's a 1-0 count now. 0-1, sorry.
Yeah, and it looks like Xfinity is having the fun times again. I don't know about you.
Xfinity, we'll be with you in 20 minutes. Sorry, 20 years. 0-1 count. It's now 1-1 after the ball.
One ball, 2 strikes.
And I apologize, folks, but I think our stream is running at like 5 FPS right now, so it's being a little tricky to try to pick up some stuff here.
So 1-2 count. We are back in the top of the 7th, it feels like. That's how slow this is. And that's going to be flown out into left center, and that is going to be 3 outs. So, whew. Another weird inning. Another weird inning, P-Mister. Another weird one indeed. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th with Diaz, Kiermaier, and Romine leading it off.
I would think.
And leading off for the Rays, the third baseman, Yandy.
And Martin Perez is still out? What?
Okay, at this point I would have expected the bullpen guy to come in because It's a 6-out save for him. Well, not a save, but a 6-out hold, basically.
This is an odd past like hour and a half. I don't even know anymore.
Yes, and
now I'm like scrolling through Twitter trying to see what's going on as well as we're looking at that one being hit, and I don't know where it's hit. I'm sorry, we're kind of dealing with some lag. It's actually going to be okay, fielded by Bogarts. It's going to be stopped.
a single.
Yep, little routine single, but it's man on base.
I'm not sure if you're paying attention to the baseball chat in the Discord, Ether, which you can join us in our Discord at any time, just by using the link going to be dropped in chat right now. Come in, have some fun with us, but Brother Beard posted an appropriate gift for basically all of us right now about this little brawl here. He lifted out on the left. And there it goes, and looks like the catch maybe?
I believe it was flown out to left field, indeed. Or line. Yep, rounder. Nope, fly ball. It's base hit, actually. I don't even know anymore. Base hit in the left field. Man on first and second. Why is Martin Perez still out? I don't know. Austin Romaine skies that in the left field, and that's going to be base hit. They're going to send the runner from second going home, and that's the first run since the bottom of the second for the Tampa Bay Rays. And I am begging Ron Renicky, AI. I'm begging you, AI Ron Renicky. Take out Perez. Do something. He is cooked. He is cooked. He has held on. He has held on since you randomly brought him in like the fourth inning.
He's gonna leave him out. Oh, and Willie Adames with runners on first and second with no one out has a chance to try to claw something back.
Ramon Laureano is now a member of the Joe Kelly Club. No joke. He is now an honorary member of the Joe Kelly Club.
Excellent. Yeah, it's one of the things I wish baseball players would do nowadays, is have a little bit more character and a little bit more pizzazz amongst them rather than being the robots of management, it seems like nowadays.
0-1 count after that foul to Willie Adames. Swings at that for no reason. 0-2 count. Still nobody away. Men on first and second after the RBI single.
Ennis, long story short, we haven't missed much. Just a low grounder into the outfield to bring a run home for the Rays. Beyond that, it's been pretty crackerjack straightforward.
Except Perez staying in. We don't know why Perez is still in on 50 pitches.
That is also.
He has more pitches than McHugh, I'm pretty certain now. I think he has more pitches than McHugh had.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does.
Skied in the right field. It is going to be playable, catchable, and...
No, that's going to drop.
No! Why?
Oh.
Bases loaded in the worst way possible. Willie Adames, what should have been a routine fly ball out for out number 2, I believe, if not out number 1. I don't even know. It is still nobody out. Why? Go for that.
On that. You go
Finally, Ryan Brazier coming in, 4-3 record, 2 saves out of 5 opportunities, a 3.74 ERA, holding righties and lefties to under 250, 74 and 19 strikeout to walk ratio in 65 innings and 57 games. Finally, Ron Renicky, AI version, is just an idiot. Bases loaded, nobody out. This is actually starting to scare me a little bit. Brandon Lau up to bat, 0 for 3, flew out back in the 6th inning.
Homer brings it to a 3-run game. And there goes... Oh, I am going at 5 frames per second right now.
I know it's a 1-1 count.
And that's about it.
That's a ball. I got 2-1 the count.
It's a 2-1 count now after ball.
This game has been such a clown show. It is starting to crash our servers and our game and our internet right now.
Xfinity is just saying, "Stop it! Stop it now!"
Exactly. Stop the mayhem. Stop the pains. That one's.
I think it's going to be ball 3.
Full count.
We are actually going to lose this game, aren't we? We're losing this game now because we did not take out Martin Perez, but we should have.
Oh, we got a full count here, so that's a start.
Yeah, but next thing we know, it might be a a grand salami that we can't see because it's cutting to like 5 frames right now.
Now batting.
And that
And it's ball
was
4. It's ball 4. Walks
Yep.
in a run. It's now 10-4. The tying run is 3 batters away. Austin Meadows is 0 for 3. A double play would be huge right now. I don't care if they score a run.
yeah.
Please make Austin Meadows hit into double play because at least it. Meanwhile, the Abel Orient on Twitter has said we should prepare for Laureano to be suspended for 10 games. The Astros will probably suffer the indignity of a slap on the wrist or something.
A slap on the wrist and maybe a bang on a trash can, and Barnes and Hembry up in the pen, so that's an interesting one. But yes, unfortunately, this game has been such a clown show. It's nearly crashing everything that we have here.
1 and 2.
We are trying our best to fix it, but unfortunately, Xfinity is, how would you say it, hot garbage?